And we are live.
Hello.
And I am paused.
Oh, no.
You didn't give me a signal. God damn it.
That's my bad. I don't
No,
think
like-
I'm allowed to do the signal on stream.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
We're an 18+ stream, and if people, have a problem with flipping each other off, you're in the wrong place.
It's how we show our love.
Yep.
Well, cool beans, we're back after a month, I think, right?
Yep.
Has it been a
We're
month?
back. Yeah,
About
because we couldn't do
4
last
weeks.
time because y'all had a birthday party.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I forget this isn't like an every other week show.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's just always on our minds.
That didn't feel sincere, but I will bypass it.
I'm sorry. I
weird.
genuinely have been thinking about this game a lot.
Okay. Tell me more.
Yeah, I couldn't tell because like as soon as we were done the first time, you like kept asking me who my character was going to try to romance.
Yeah, I was really curious. I was like, come on, give me a hint. Give me a little hint. Who caught your eye? Nobody? Okay, damn, I gotta make him hotter. That's on me. That's on me. Okay, well, really quick, I guess, recap from last time. You guys are invited to the Partington Estate, dressed to the nines, for a soiree, to kind of bring all these really noble families together, bury the hatchet at the bequest of Lord Partington. It's everybody kind of does their own thing, introduce everybody, and at the banquet later, after Lord Partington kind of raises a glass to everybody there, thanking them for coming, he falls over dead. And due to the combined efforts of Reggie and Gaius, we see that first off, that Lord Partington, in addition to dying in a really horrific, violent way, also seemed to have an extra wound elsewhere on his body. I think it was on his finger, on his hand, I guess, and that was suspicious. I think this campaign is just gonna devolve to me like doing my Cardi B impression, being like, "That's suspicious. That's weird." And then Reggie also saw, as in the flashes of light from the fireworks outside, that there was he saw the tail end of a servant's jacket ducking out the servants' quarters at the moment that Lord Partington is currently dying. Lord Partington dies, rip, and we're told rest in peace. And we're told by Constable Fairchild that nobody's allowed to leave the estate because everybody's under suspicion. And Lord Avros and Lady Marina offer up the numerous number of rooms in their house for their guests to stay at, as they're not allowed to leave, because Constable Fairchild is going to be conducting interviews with people to find out where you were, what you were doing, blah, 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 why you might hate the Partingtons, but that's for later while he kind of organizes everything, and it's taking a while. So you guys, all 5 of you are kind of lumped into a group and put aside and found your own rooms for the night, and that's where we left off. Everybody kind of, I believe you guys went to sleep, right? Cool.
Yeah, we were all winding down and getting ready to sleep.
I think I fell asleep in a chair.
No, you
Yeah.
took
Of course
the room
you
by
did.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's
I was gonna say you better not sleep in a chair. We gave you a room by yourself so you could push the beds together.
He was trying to stay awake long enough to make sure that the night goes uneventful, and then
That's so
Yeah.
Danny of you. Like, I'm sorry.
Right?
That's so Danny
I'm
of
sorry,
you.
I'm the night watch guy. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna actually really quick, uno segundo. I need to get myself into the mood, so give me 1 second. This is for me and me alone.
I'll start the music. It's playing.
Okay. So, night falls. You guys are in your rooms. I believe that Madeline and Sinari are together, and Gaius and Albelriel are together, and then Reggie's by himself, right?
Correct.
Your rooms share the same hallway, let's just say. As the night winds down and the moon rises in the sky, by the way, you guys are in some of the nicest rooms. They have these really tall floor-to-ceiling windows. You see the moonlight streaming through. Feel yourselves falling asleep. Are you guys taking like shifts to sleep, or are you all just going to sleep? I should get my dice.
I think our Belriel's just gonna be going to sleep. But I believe I mentioned last time that he took his walking stick and like wedged it underneath the door handle, so that anyone trying to enter the room would have to really make an effort to get in there.
Right.
Sinari wouldn't have gone. Sinari told Madeline to go to sleep first, and she take watch because she didn't feel too safe.
And Reggie's in his chair trying to sleep. I guess he fell asleep. And Gaius, what about you?
He's going to cause problems.
Oh, okay. What's he going to do?
As soon as Arbariel falls asleep, he's going to go to the front door and he's going to remove the cane. He's going to gently put it up against his bed, and he's going to leave the room.
Okay, where's he going to go?
I think he's going to just wander, just to like gather his thoughts, just to figure out, just to like see if he can't remember anything else that happened during the whole ordeal. Because the whole idea of that pinprick on Lord Partington's finger is like, it has
That's
him,
weird.
yeah, it has him worried.
Okay.
Because in his mind, this goes from just a basic, poisoning to potentially a professional assassin.
Sure. That's totally fine. As you are walking these halls, first off, you stop to admire just how very well decorated they are. Very plush carpets in the Partington purple, wall to wall, portraits of past Partington family members, mostly heads of houses. As you walk up and down the halls, it's dark. Like the only light is the light in from the outside in the moonlight. What, out of curiosity, is your passive perception?
13.
Okay, 13. Ooh. All right. As you're walking, okay.
Ignore
As
that. I'm trying to just open up the description. I forget what button it is because I'm usually not a player.
That's okay. As you're walking, actually all of you hear this. You hear someone scream out of fright. And you don't know who that scream belongs to. You're not really sure what direction it's coming from, but it's outside your door, and it's kind of far away, a little bit distant.
I am immediately out the door and
Okay.
trying to figure out the direction it came from.
Okay, what about everybody else?
Geist's ears just like stand completely up as he just like starts trying to scan for the direction that sound came from.
Oh wait, it's not really like this, is it? It's more like this, isn't it?
Ah,
No, because I'm not frozen. It can't be like this. I'm not frozen.
Okay.
Madeline is immediately wakes up and like she sees like a flash of someone leaving. She's still like out of it, so she takes like a minute to like calm down, and then she leaves the room.
Mm-hmm.
I think Reggie immediately stands up, still half awake, reaching for the sword that is not there. It's like, I still got horns. And just keeps going forward out the door.
I still have horns. And our Belriel.
I think he wakes up, and when he sees his cane has been moved and Gaius is no longer there, he mutters several profanities and takes out a little hand mirror, fixes his hair, makes sure his coat's straight, and he gets up, grabs his walking stick, and steps outside the room.
So I would say that the four of you, minus Gaius, wherever the fuck he is, kind of all go into the hallway at the same time. At that moment, you see Lord Avros, who, if you recall, is the son of Lady Adira and Lord Partington, Rip. He's kind of flying down the hallway. His dressing gown is going behind him. He's got like the loose white shirt and whatnot. Like, he's like, I am so sorry, everyone. I am so sorry. Please stay in your rooms. My mother, she's just having a nightmare. Please, I just need you all to stay in your rooms if you don't mind. And he's booking it. He's gone. He's going down the hall. You can see down the hall, and then to the left, which you can assume is where probably Lady Adira is.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead. Are you there? Because I thought you went wandering.
Do I hear him?
I don't think so.
Okay, if I don't,
how far away did you wander? Is the whole thing.
He pretty much just walked I don't think he left the floor that he was on, but he's just walking around, in his thoughts until.
I'll tell you something, Rojan. This house is fucking huge.
Oh yeah.
Like these people are rich. So you might be on the same floor, but you might be in a different wing.
I might be in a different time zone, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So,
well,
I'm gonna, I guess, just in my imagination, unless you think that you do stay a lot closer to these guys' bedroom, or if you're just wandering aimlessly, you probably don't hear him.
He's a bard. He's wandering aimlessly.
Okay, then probably you're not there.
Yeah, the moment that he's like, stay in your rooms, I'm just like, fuck that, and I follow him.
Do you follow him noticeably? Sorry, Reggie, what were you gonna do?
21 insight.
Okay, he's telling the truth. He's very you can tell he's very shaken, but he's trying to still appear, because he's now the head of the Partington house. He's trying to very much host, but also what the fuck? I gotta go. Please just don't cause any fucking issues. Just stay in your rooms. I gotta go help my mom.
I'm following because I technically do belong to the wings, and that is my job, protect.
Okay, are you being noticeable about it, or are you sneaking?
That's a good question.
Thank you. And Effie, same goes for you. Are you being noticeable, or are you sneaking?
Oh, I'm trying to be stealthy about it.
What's the floor made of again? Is it carpets or is it hard?
These carpets are this thick.
All right, she's stealthy.
Okay. Roll me some stealth checks.
All right.
I'm imagining it's like that scene in Emperor's New Groove of Kronk, where he's just this giant.
It's funny you say that, because I just rolled a total of 3.
Come on, bro.
The hooves gave me away because I do actually wear my iron hooves. So
I'm not stealthing. I'm not stealthing with him. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna count you guys as separate. Because God, aren't you a rogue, Effie?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Don't let me. Don't
let me be. Let me be the distraction.
I rolled a plus. What was 16?
Okay. That's so funny that you rolled a 3 because he rolled a 5. So all you had to do was roll 2 more. So he turns around, he goes, I'm so sorry, Reginald, I really don't need your assistance right now. It's just my mother, she has these nightmares, and I just have to go calm her down. If you would just stay in your room.
I'll stay in the hallway near my room. Shout if you need me.
Just make sure that everybody else is okay. He does not clock Effie, or he does not clock Sonari at all. He's like, okay, I must go. My apologies, sir, but I really must go.
Of course.
And he hurries away down the hall.
Yep.
And then Effie, I'm sure you follow him pretty well. I'm just gonna say that that's a very good stealth roll. He does not clock you. You see him take the left and go a couple doors down into his mother's room, who she's still very upset. She's crying and screaming. He goes into the room. I think he does that thing where he tries to like shut the door behind him and let it close, but it still kind of keeps like slightly open like that. What do you do?
I'm gonna stand like stand by the door. Is there anything around the door that's like, I don't know, suits of armor or a convenient grandfather clock, something like, you know?
I would say that it's got very big paintings. There's those things where it's like curtains falling down because they have the big windows. There's very big curtains that go all the way up to the ceiling. Some braziers, I guess, and like a singular chair. But that's it.
Would the curtains be close enough to the door that I could still hear if I stood behind it?
It's on the other side of the hall, but I think
Okay.
she's not being quiet. She's not like nobody's whispering.
Okay, so I'm going to like stop, like just put myself behind the curtain, and just like listen into what Mama Partington is screaming about.
Okay. I'm gonna say the door does not close entirely. It's still slightly ajar. And you can hear her like kind of wailing and you can see through the door that she is very stiff, almost like a person who is like in the middle of like a seizure almost, but not shaking, where they just go completely stiff, but she's standing straight up. And Avros is there and he's trying to he's got like a hand like down her back, like, mother, like, you need to calm down, like, and whatnot. And she's all of a sudden she stills completely. And I guess you weren't there when this happened, but when she kind of had a similar thing happen when Lord Partington was in the middle of dying, but her eyes kind of cloud over a little bit. You see this. And what languages do you speak?
I speak Infernal, Elvish, Dwarvish, and Common.
Okay. So you don't understand what language she's speaking in, but she seems to be, you can tell just by being just an intelligent person, that she's kind of repeating like a couple of phrases over and over. Once she does that, you see that there's a woman in there who you've never seen before. She has red hair, kind of like, here, let me see if I can, how do I bring people, well, actually, I'm gonna do something real
Was
quick.
it Control C?
Control, if you're trying to like zoom the token in, it's Control Z when you
Control Z.
on the select token.
Okay. I just want to see something real quick. That's fine.
Oh, Malls, I'm sorry. Did you want me to stay on the
Yeah,
map?
it's fine to stay on this map for now.
No, I mean on stream. Did you want me to stay on the map screen?
You can actually stay on this for now. Like, just the regular talking one is fine.
Okay.
But just for you in there, like, she's just got kind of like strawberry reddish blonde hair. She's got very blue eyes, freckles. She seems to be just like her lady in waiting, but you don't know her name. You see that once she starts, like, Lady Adira starts to like chant this kind of like over and over in a state like she doesn't even have any control over it. This lady like turns and is like looking, and you can see she grabs a notebook that is on the side of Lady Adira's bed and starts like scribbling in it, like while her lady is like in the midst of this like dealio, and her son is just trying to keep her like from falling over. This goes on for about maybe like 2 minutes, and she kind of collapses into her son's arms, And he's like, Florence, I need you to help me get her into bed. And both of them like try to just gently lay her down in bed. She's exhausted. You can see this through that. But they pull the covers over her, and yeah, she seems to have fallen asleep. She's exhausted. Avros kind of turns after putting like a very grateful hand on this lady's name is Florence, from what you heard, and starts to leave the room. Are you still behind the curtain?
I'm remaining behind the curtain. I don't want to get noticed by him yet.
Okay. Can I get another stealth check?
Well, my plus 19.
That's wonderful. He rolled a 2. I think because he's just like so caught up in like,
He's been through a lot.
dude's been through the ringer, so he's just not noticing anything right now, and he turns and kind of walks like very exhaustedly down the hall. You can see that through the door, because he kind of left it open a little bit, that her lady in waiting is just kind of tucking in Yadira, just checking on the lights, making sure that the curtains are drawn, and her lady in waiting kind of goes and leaves the room so that she can sleep, and she closes the door very quietly behind her and goes down a little bit down the hallway to a separate room, which seems to be her room, and it's close enough that if Lady Adira needed anything, she could probably call out and Florence would be there. But she goes into her room looking exhausted. It's been a very long day for her too, and she shuts the door.
Did I notice that she took the book with her?
She did not take the book with her.
And she didn't lock Lady Adira's door behind her.
She did not, but she did close it though.
Okay. I'm gonna take the time to wait till she's gone. And I'm going to sneak into the room to try and take a look at that book.
Okay. I need a stealth check from you. Again.
Please give me something good. Yeah, isn't that 20?
Okay. So you're like a shadow.
It does.
Even if someone was standing right in front of you, they'd never be able to see you, probably. But she's asleep. She's breathing kind of fitfully. She seems like she's having like a bit of a bad dream. But the notebook is right there on the desk next to her. And I guess, are you in the doorway, or are you kind of...
I'm sneaking over to where I'm like heading over to where the book is, like, you know, just quietly creeping across.
Okay.
If I gotta take off my, like, you know, my high heel shoes to do it, I will be doing it. Like, you know, I ain't making a sound.
Okay. Let me just pull something up real quick. Alrighty. Sorry. I got a bunch of different plates in the air right now. Alright, I'm going to kind of, as you reached for the book, she kind of gives like that, but just to freak you out, but she is asleep, and she kind of turns over in her bed, and your hands close around the book. Are you taking it with you, or are you reading it there?
I was going to open it and look at what was said, look what they wrote was written down on the most recent page, and go if it was something that I could easily copy. I was going to go to the back of the book, take out a page, and then copy it down for me.
Okay. No problem. Give me 1 second here. I'm actually gonna privately message this to you. You see 2 phrases in the book. The last one, and I'm messaging it to you right now because it's for your eyes only. Because you're the one who saw it, nobody else was there. You can see because Florence does seem to understand High Elven, but she writes in Common just for later. And then underneath that, you see another phrase. As well. So you want to rip a page out of it and copy it down?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna write down a page and copy it down, and I'm
You're
gonna
tearing a page from the book?
the back of it. Like the
Okay.
very back, so it's not gonna be noticeable if someone just quickly checks, like, you know, it won't be noticeable for initially. So I take
Okay.
it from the very back of the book and then I start writing it down, but I'm also just like side-eyeing that second message.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Yeah, and once I've written it down, I'm going to skedaddle back out.
I'm gonna need a final stealth check from you, please.
Is that an 11? No, it's not 11. It's a 17. That's 21. Like I was just looking, going. The dice font is really like
Weird.
fancy. Yeah. So no, it was 17 plus 4, 21.
Okay. So you sneak out. She tosses and turns a little bit. She's in a fitful sleep as per usual, but you get out and you close the door behind you, I assume.
Yeah,
And you
I
start
leave it as I found it.
Okay. What is everybody else doing in the hallway? Because I'm assuming you're all standing there.
Currently just standing just outside his own door, looking around at the others, if any are still there.
As you guys are standing there, you see Lord Avros kind of turn the corner and be like, "My guests, I'm so sorry. Why you should not be out of your beds at this hour. I apologize for the disturbance. Please, I promise, in the morning everything will be all right. We'll have a breakfast for you all. Just please go back to your rooms."
You know, you say that, but I still must say this. I'm part of the wings, though I am under scrutiny as well. Everyone's safety is my priority here.
I appreciate your diligence to your job, Reggie. But I am afraid this is common for us. My mother, she does not sleep very well. I promise nothing else will happen to any of you. And I have full faith in the constable for us all to get to the bottom of this. Just please. I appreciate you though, promise.
Alright. At your leave. And he will turn back and go into his room.
Okay. Are Belriel and Madeline?
I think Madeline's gonna go back to bed, but she's gonna be she's not gonna be sleeping. She's just gonna be up in her room. She's like, oh, you know, they have like she believes that it was just a nightmare given the situation, but she is not relaxed enough to sleep, so
That'd be fucking weird if you were.
yeah.
Yeah. And our Belriel?
I think our Belriel probably went back into his room before Avros even finished saying what he was saying. But as soon as he gets in there, he's gonna give his little pseudo dragon familiar a scritch under the chin.
The dragon's gonna
And he's just gonna be like, be a darling and track down our dear roommate, won't you? And do stay out of sight.
And he kind of
And,
does a little chitter and kind of creeps under. Does he fly or is he more of a crawler?
He can fly, and if he's trying to stay out of sight, it might be good for him to stay up near the ceiling, because who the hell's looking at the ceiling? But whatever he thinks is necessary, he's a dragon, so he's got a good intelligence. He can make these decisions for himself. But because I'm Pact of the Chainmaster, and I took the Voice of the Chainmaster invocation, there's no limit to the distance in which I can communicate with my familiar telepathically and also look through their senses. So I'm going to be watching through his eyes as he moves through the house.
That's fucking dope.
I fucking love Chainmaster Pact. Like, it's so underutilized. It is so underutilized.
What's your dragon's name?
My dragon's name is Dane. Dein.
Oh, I was thinking like Dane Cook. Dane is way better.
It is draconic. It's a draconic word for safeguard, basically.
Love it. So Dane kind of does like and kind of skitters down, and out the door, I'm assuming you hold it open for him before you close it. Since you left before Avros actually was done talking, will you roll stealth for your little dragon dude?
I can do that. My little dragon dude has a much better stealth than I myself do, so that's why he's out there and I'm not. That's going to be a 16.
Wonderful. I mean, Avros is just real bad tonight.
He's got a lot on his mind.
Yeah. Kind of Dane skitters up like the side of the wall, making sure to stay to the shadows, hiding in like the crook of like a little painting under the curtains before he's on the ceiling like a little Spider-Man, and he's going in search of Gaius, Gaius, what are you doing?
Now this is where the point where he's causing trouble.
Okay.
He can't let go of that image in the dining room.
Okay.
That pinprick on Lord Partington's finger is just bugging him. So he's going to try to make his way back down to the main dining room because he wants to do a little bit of investigation.
And you said your passive perception was what?
13.
Okay. As you're going down the hall towards the main stairs, you see down one of the hallways a lantern and a figure down there. And as you look, you see that it's actually Lord Solantis, who is Lord Partington's father. And he seems to be walking with purpose, kind of like towards you, like, because you must have come from your rooms, and he's coming at an intersection towards you, like, in a hurry. And he kind of stops short and he goes, "Oh, Lord Gaius, why are you up at this hour?"
Unfortunately, it's a bit of a condition of mine. I have a rough time sleeping at night. Sometimes I find that a late night constitutional tends to relax me. I'm just wandering about until the nerves and muscles settle.
He goes, I need to find my daughter-in-law, Yadira. I heard her screaming, and you see, kind of shudders, and he goes like, sorry. He goes like, "But I must implore you to please be careful. We have a killer on the loose, and I would hate for there to be 2 lives lost this night rather than just one."
Gaius nods. He's like, I will be on my utmost awareness. As he kind of like tips his ears. He's like, thankfully these aren't for just show.
Okay. You can see his hand is kind of shaking, holding the lantern a bit, like he is very weary. And I don't even need you to do an insight check for this, but you can tell that he's clammy, gross looking. His pupils are extremely dilated. And you can even see in his mouth a little bit, there's some blood, almost like he bit his own tongue. And he's swallowing, his mouth seems to be very dry, but he looks concerned for you. And he goes, well, it might be best if perhaps we save the investigation for another night, but I am sorry, I really must get to my daughter-in-law's room. And he kind
Of course.
brushes past you.
Give the lady my best.
I will. And he hurries past.
Interesting.
Oh, Rojan.
Thank you. He waits for Solanas to like leave. Can't let that get away. As he's gonna turn and he's gonna like trail him. Just because of the way that he looks, he knows, you know, something isn't right.
Okay.
So he's gonna trail Lord Solanas instead of going down into the dining room.
Are you gonna be stealthy about it?
Oh, of course.
Because you know what I'm gonna ask for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's used to sneaking around the estates of other people.
I'm sorry, I'm rolling so badly tonight, but it's okay.
You want a stealth check, right?
Yes, please.
That's a nat 20 for 24.
Hey, you didn't even need to roll that high, dude. I got a 3.
I mean, it's a sick old man.
People are going through it tonight. There's no one. You can see he's like hurrying down the hall. His lantern is trembling so hard that you can hear like that, and he's stumbling a little bit. And I think as he's like going down the main hallway where like your bedrooms are, Sonari, you're probably turning the corner. I need a stealth check from you too.
14 plus what? 18.
Sounds great. He does not see you. You probably stick to the shadows. You both see him take like a deep shuddering breath as he stops in the middle of the hallway. Kind of like his head is like that a bit, and he puts his hand to his head like this. And then he straightens up, kind of wipes his face a bit, looks around, and then turns and goes in the direction he came from. And I need another stealth check from you, Gaius.
That is not going to be a nat 20 this time, but it will be. Let me go to my stats here. That will be an 18.
He doesn't see any of you, and he starts walking very confidently. No more shaking in his hand, no more sweating. He's walking like he's just on a nighttime stroll back to his room.
Interesting.
But you're back in the hallway where your rooms are, and Sonari, so are you.
Do I see Gaius? And does Gaius see me? Or
I don't know, do you?
You rolled so well on your stealths, but you're both so blind to each other.
You know, you both rolled so well that you hid so well from the other stealth person.
I think in this case, because like he's coming back, Gaius probably like climbed up and is just like holding himself like against like the wall and a bookcase, just like as he's walking by.
Sure.
And Sanari just like stepped out from like behind another curtain, like, and because like she hasn't, it's not like that they gave us like dresses, like night clothes to change into. She's still wearing the dress from the ball, and I like to think it like blends into the curtain. So like, you know, just 1 second later, like after the other one's, he's disappeared down the hallway and he's no longer there. The curtain like just seems to duplicate itself for it, and then she steps out and like
while looking hot.
Exactly.
So you kind of make yourself visible to anybody.
Yeah, I make myself visible and I just start walking back to the room. And I'm half considering not going back in just because like this is a perfect time to try and find the Winaras. but I also have no idea how big this damn place is. And it, like, I'm also exhausted from the day.
US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. I don't know if you guys know that. It's a huge stadium, and this is like a house like that size. So good luck to you.
Oh, it's
Yep,
as big as
so-
a freaking stadium.
Yeah, these people are rich.
Like,
It's the place is huge. I was aware of this before I came here, and I also have no idea where they took Haisung, and I want to make sure that Haisung is, like, around and okay before I do anything dumb. Dumber than I already just did. So I just, like, I pause at the door, I look around, and I, like, hesitate for a second. I go, screw this, I'm just gonna go in, and then I head back into the room and see Madeline probably sitting on the bed.
you probably see, like, as soon as, like, he walks by and there's enough distance, you see Gaius just hop down off of the wall, kind of just like adjust his jacket a little bit, and he begins tailing Lord Solanus.
Okay. I'll get back to you in a second, Effie. If you're tailing Lord
Solantis, that's what it is.
Oh, that's okay. Solantis, tomato.
Lord Cilantro. There we go.
Yes, absolutely. So you're tailing Lord Solantis. He is walking down the hallway. Are you making yourself known, or are you just watching him?
Like,
Okay.
he like keeping a distance, just like tailing him, because first he's like this, broken down old man, and all of a sudden he just writes himself up and then begins to walk back. It doesn't. Two and two are not equaling fish right now.
Like the old man
Okay.
in the Game of Thrones when he
Yeah.
gets up from his bed. It's
Yeah.
like,
One more stealth check from you, please.
15.
As you're walking behind him, he stops. And he looks over his shoulder at you, and he goes, "Ah, Lord Gaius, we meet again. How are you, friend? I see the sleep eludes you still."
Trying times,
Very. I grieve. It's difficult to see my family like this. And no parent, obviously, should have to watch their child die. However, and I apologize for my abruptness, I must be getting to bed, if you'll excuse me.
Of course.
And he
sir.
turns to go, he goes, "And Lord Gaius, normally I am of the mind to let my guests have whatever they like in my own home, but tonight I must ask you to go back to your room." And he turns and walks away without a word.
And Gaius is just going to give like a respectful bow.
"I know you don't mean it, bitch."
Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't. all of this high class society shit to him is a charade. So as soon as like,
No, I'm sorry, it's a charade.
no, he hangs out with the common folk. It's a charade.
Yeah.
Um,
We hang out with the Midwesterners.
exactly.
Okay. Also, you see him go towards a room, probably more lavish than any of the rooms you guys are in. Opens the door and very quietly shuts it behind him.
Knowing that he was caught, he knows not to test things, so he's gonna go back. He's gonna head back to his room.
Okay, I was like, "You're gonna go back where?" "Oh, to your room." Okay. Sounds good. You go back to your room. Effie, you go into your room and see Madeline, and I'm guessing, Gaius, you go into your room and you see Arbelriel. And I will say, Arbelriel, Dane saw all of that too.
Oh, okay. So if he saw all of that, then before Gaius goes back to his room, after sorry, what's his name? Solantis. After Solantis goes into his room, when Gaius starts to turn around to head back to his room, Dane is gonna land on Gaius's shoulders, and Arbelriel's voice is gonna come out of this little lung dragon. "Oh, you're not done sleuthing yet, are you?"
oh
And like
no.
Gaius is gonna like look over to like the dragon. He's like, I didn't think my conscience was so adorable.
Why, thank you.
You know, you're right. There's
It's the
way
best
too
combo.
many questions to be answered. Tell me, my little friend. You up for a little bit of a investigation in the dining room?
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Then let us be off.
Okay. If you guys are gonna go to the or I guess it would be called the banquet hall, dining room, whatever. As you go down there, you go down the hall, again, dark as fuck, just the moonlight shining through the many windows, but you can hear some voices down there. And as you kind of creep towards the hall, I can bring you guys. If I click on, hold on a second.
Okay, so for the map, you click on the map and then you drag that little yellow flag wherever it is. It's gonna be on the ballroom map right now, and you're just gonna drag it to the map you want to take us to.
Okay, do you guys see it?
Yep.
Yes.
I do not. Let me refresh. There we go. All right, I'm gonna pop the map up on screen too, so
Sweet.
stream can see it. Oh no, Jeffrey's gotten huge.
I know, I'm trying to make him smaller.
By the way, Frozen.
It's probably just a good idea just to call it out to me, because most of the time not even looking at, I'm not looking forward.
That's fair.
I've got OBS and I've got Roll20.
Damn it, I suck. Hold on a second, you guys. So sorry. As you kind of creep towards where you had the banquet hall, you can hear some voices in there. Are you going into the room, or are you just kind of staying in the hall?
Is the door open at all?
Door is partially open, so you can hear what's going on, but if you choose not to go in, then that's totally fine.
How many voices on the other end?
You hear two.
I'm gonna stand there and listen for a moment, just to hear
Okay.
we'll hear what they're saying.
No problem. As you do, sorry, give me 1 second here, you guys. So sorry about this. Hello.
Malls, as you're doing that, I have a question. Is this from that website you were telling me about?
Yes, sir.
Yo, these are cool maps. Okay.
Yeah. You are welcome to them. So as you're in there, or as you peek through the door, you can hear two voices that you know very well. It's Lord Avros and the constable. And they're kind of at the head of the table where Lord Partington passed away, rip. And they are talking, and you can hear Avros go, you cannot be serious. There's no way it could be him. That makes no sense. And the constable says, I'm sorry, Lord Partington, but the evidence is very clearly there. It was, I mean, out of respect for your father, I wish I could use any other term, but he was caught red-handed. And Lord Avros kind of sits down in a chair, and he's like, I cannot believe this. I can't. I mean, I've known him since I was a child. Since I was a boy, we were boys together. It doesn't make any sense at all. And you hear the constable go, again, I'm so sorry, Lord Partington, but I can't just cut corners here. We have to bring in every suspect, and the general's going to be here in the morning with a small retinue to escort him to the prison for further investigation. We're going to be interviewing him. We're going to be checking over the murder weapon, everything. I just need you to keep everything calm here. We don't need any sort of frenzy, especially from your sister. He goes, yes, you're right. I mean, poor Marina, she's going to be heartbroken. And are you doing anything while this is happening?
Keeping an ear, just like listening intently.
Mm-hmm. At that moment, Constable says, well, I will keep an eye on him. Just you go get some sleep, because tomorrow is going to be hellish and you need to be well rested. And Lord Avarice goes, I know, you never really think this day is coming where you have to be in charge of everything all of a sudden, but you're right. I should get some sleep. This is not to be born. And he gets up and he starts heading towards the doorway. Are you in the doorway or are you hiding?
As soon as I hear him coming, is there like any like suit of armor or anything that guys could just like duck behind?
I gotta be honest with you guys, I hate suits of armor. They freak me the fuck out.
Okay.
You're not gonna ever find a suit of armor in any game I run.
Is there any sort of like giant taxidermy bear or something then?
There's tapestries. There's like big tapestries, curtains from the windows, same as what Sonari had, so.
Well, that's the closest thing. He's going to, can I do this? Give me a second. Where the hell is my character? Oh, I had to reload roll 20. I was
let me throw you out there. Hold on a second.
Oh, no, I was looking for my character sheet because I wanted to do something, but when I refreshed it, it closed my character sheet.
Roll 20, you bitch!
Okay.
Fuck you, Fox.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to like tuck behind the tapestry. Yeah. He'll tuck himself just behind the tapestry and just hide as best as possible.
Can I get a stealth?
16.
You see him stop, kind of glance over at where you're hiding, and you see him slowly reach down toward his boot and pull out a dagger.
And as he does, as like I see him do that,
whoever is hiding behind there, you have 3 seconds to make yourself known. 1.
Okay, and I'm gonna cast minor illusion, and I'm gonna make a sound of like something toppling behind him and feet running down the hallway. Should I make a deception check on that?
Yeah, you should.
Get me back here. Oh shit, I'm not a professional liar. What?
Yes, you are. You're a bard.
Okay, that's still good. That's a 23.
You see him kind of look over his shoulder
And
back.
as soon as he looks, Gaius tucks into the room.
The room where Jeffrey is?
Yeah. Gaius is going to tuck into the room and like just like very low to the ground try to like crawl to the table.
I need you to make another stealth check, dude. I'm sorry it's all stealth checks tonight, but we're in the middle of the night and people try and be sneaky. You still have that dragon with you?
For now.
Okay.
Whew. That's another nat 20 for 24.
No.
Okay.
Damn. Taking all the karma with you, buddy.
Right?
All right. Well, lucky for you, Avros is distracted enough that when you duck into the room and you hit the deck, Jeffrey is distracted enough as well that he doesn't hear your dumb little cat body hit the floor.
He's just like, he hits the floor and he's crawling. He's like, shit, 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 shit.
And you see Jeffrey being like, there's something here.
It's like the constable from that weird British game they just released. It's like, something's going on there. You can't see the mouth. It's just the mustache moving.
Oh, the thank goodness you're here.
Yes, that one.
Oh man.
But Dragonborn.
Yes.
He's like,
Yep.
there's something prowling around it.
Gaius like just like gets underneath the table, just hoping that the long tablecloth will cover them.
Okay.
You're frozen.
So you hear out the door, you hear Avros go like swear under his breath, like mierda, and he like runs. You hear his little feet beep, 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 like down.
Beep, beep, beep. That's it.
This man needs to sleep.
He's got squeaky feet now. That's canon.
No,
you
he's
just gave
the
that man
SpongeBob.
you gave
He's
that
got the
man
SpongeBob
squeaky shoes.
He's got those SpongeBob feet.
Yes.
The two pickle feet.
That boy hits
Yeah.
every loose board in the house every time he steps.
No, the thing is, he's a rogue too. So, the thing is that this boy needs to sleep, so he is tired. But as you kind of hit the deck in the room and hide under the table, Jeffrey doesn't hear you, but you hear him kind of go like, I'm getting too old for this, and just kind of leave the room. As he's been investigating this thing for like all night, and he also exits the room after Lord Avros. And I'm gonna say that he hears Avros go like mierda, and he's like what, and kind of goes to look at what's going on. So leaving you alone in the room.
Fucking Danny Glover over there.
Yeah, right. Jeffrey's last name is Murtaugh.
You guys are so mean to Jeffrey. Leave him the fuck alone.
I was having fun with
And
it.
as soon as Jeffrey leaves, Gaius counts to like 30 before coming out from underneath the table. And once again, as soon as he's up fixing the jacket,
Well done, Tybalt. Well done.
you gain a bunch of skills when you are slinking out of the bed chambers of married women.
Fair. Intriguing and fair.
All right, time to give this room a once over. And he heads right towards the where Lord Partington was seated.
Okay. What are you looking for?
And as he's walking towards the table, he like looks over the drawing. He's like, when I was in here the last time, when Lord Partington started having that episode, I noticed a pinprick on his middle finger. I'm trying to help me out here, but I'm trying to find something that could have delivered that. And he's just gonna go ahead.
Was drinking from a goblet, was he not?
Yes.
Taking a good look at that. Is it still here?
I did a once over of it when I was here the last time, but I didn't see anything, but the commotion kind of pulled me away from it. It would be good to investigate the goblet as well as the area around around his seating. And he's just gonna begin to just investigate that entire area where Lord Partington was at.
Okay, can I get an investigation check?
Can I make it with advantage since I have a dragon companion helping me?
You know what? I am a merciful DM, even though you put me through a lot of shit just now. Go ahead.
Oh yes, because you guys don't put me through shit.
I've literally never.
That's gonna
rules are
be
there. Make sure we
17.
have fun. 17. I want to be honest with you, Rojim. When you were in there the first time, during what is very clearly a very emotionally distraught moment for a family that's falling apart, and you were investigating the goblet, you looked it over pretty well that first time. You don't find anything else. It is an ordinary goblet with the peregrine falcon on it, which is their family bird. Kind of gaudy, but nothing that he would prick his finger on. It is smooth gold. However, when you're looking at the goblet, are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm looking for something that doesn't belong there, something that is just completely out of place, even for like a gaudy goblet. It's like, even if it's gaudy, it's still going to keep to a theme. It's still going to keep to some sort of artistic semblance. So anything that kind of like sticks out from that.
Are you looking for something in regards to the wound or the poisoning?
The wound. Something that he would like, something that would deliver the poison.
No, nothing on there.
What do you know of poisons?
I can't say I'm all that familiar with them.
Most I've come across, people put them on their blade in bar fights. This is...
Bar fights?
Yes, you see them a lot down in the rest of the city.
The rest of the city?
Yes, you do know that there is more to the city than just these fancy houses, right?
You're not talking of the... Shudder to even think of the area that...
Lower Edge.
Yes, I just... Why would you frequent the bars in the Lower Edge?
Because honestly, the people there are so much more fun.
So much more violent.
It adds entertainment to one's night, especially if you're playing music for the fight. And as he says that,
How exactly did you get invited here?
Honestly, I have no idea. My father is a shipping baron, so I guess, because I carry the name, I got invited, and it was probably because my mother wanted to keep an eye on me and make sure I wasn't trying to ruin another person's family. And he's going to check around, like, the carpet, like, around the chair and around, like, where Lord Partington was eating, to see if anything may have fallen off the table that may have pricked his finger.
Really quick, Rojan, when you were investigating the goblet, I hate to be particular, how are you investigating it?
I think what he's going to do is he's going to are there napkins around?
Sure.
Okay. He's gonna take a napkin, he's gonna put it over his hand, and he's gonna just like slowly start turning it from like the top, so he doesn't get his fingerprints or anything like that. Just like the top of the glass, he just like turns it and lifts it up, and he looks like underneath it and giving it like a good once over.
Okay. You don't find anything on the outside of the goblet.
Now you're making me want to look on the inside of the goblet. Yeah, he's going to take the goblet, he's going to turn it upside down to see if anything like falls out or pours out or anything like that.
I mean, the rest of the wine spills out. Again, This is a crime scene.
You didn't say there was still wine in it. I thought the thing tipped over. If there's wine, he's not going to pour it out.
Okay.
On the table.
You see there's still wine in it, because he only had a couple sips before it kind of clattered down, but there's still a little bit of wine in it.
Oh.
He played flip cup.
Yeah.
He's going to take another glass And he's just going to slowly pour the wine into that glass to see what happens. If anything like spills out with it, if there's anything hidden in
There's,
the
like,
liquid.
A couple little dredges of the wine left, but I need an investigation check from you.
By myself or with my dragon?
I'm gonna say by yourself.
Okay. Not as good as the last one. That's gonna be a 15 this time.
I will say that as you pour it into another goblet, you don't see anything different in the wine.
Okay.
It's the same color as the other wine in the other goblets.
Yeah. Pour it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're okay. I'm just trying to... I will say that because you did pretty well earlier, this might carry over, but you can see that kind of... So, I wish I had a goblet. My hand's a goblet. You can see kind of as you pour it, there's some residue kind of at the bottom. It's kind of a grainy sort of residue that's stuck to the wine goblet, and you can see as you're pouring it into the other one, this other wine goblet doesn't have that, and you can see none of the other ones have that.
Interesting. He's gonna set the glasses down. He's gonna pull out a little book, and he's gonna like quickly write down those notes.
Okay.
I dare
do
not
anything with the residue, or are you gonna... You know what you should do? You should drink from the wine.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. I don't have the ability to save scum like I do in Baldur's Gate. Okay. He's gonna, again, still with the napkin in his hand, he's gonna pick up the wine glass and he's gonna just do like a quick sniff to see if there's like any sort of like odor.
Sure.
Aside from the wine.
Say, yeah, do an investigation check with advantage because you're a bard and you know your wines.
Let's see. Investigation is on my skill list is a 6, so that's going to be a 13.
With advantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 7 and a 6. So it wasn't that great of an advantage.
I would say that it smells like really expensive wine, and it's like what I believe it was Madeline's mom said earlier in the night that it was exported in or imported from a neighboring country. It smells kind of sandalwood, a bit earthy. It's a red wine, so very rich, full of body, kind of flirty. I'm trying to like live out my dream of being a sommelier. Kind of flirty.
Look, you're talking to somebody who's got no class, so whatever you're saying, I'm just gonna buy and say, yeah, that's wine.
Yep. No, I mean it's really good wine.
Okay. He's gonna take. How thick are these napkins? Are these like...
Oh, they're like the cloth napkins at the Olive Garden.
Perfect. So he's gonna take the napkin, he's gonna like run it down, and he's gonna like have it like gather up a bit of that powder. And he's gonna...
You can absolutely do that, yeah.
He's gonna fold it up, and he's gonna like slip it into like one of his pockets.
Like, I would love it if you did that. Sounds good.
Yeah, because I know you want to peg me as the murderer. It's like...
Wait a minute.
Gotta have the doc take a look at this.
Are you doing anything else?
He's pouring.
Or Valriel, are you gonna tell him to do anything?
He's
else?
pouring the wine from the other glass that he poured in the other glass back into the cup.
You're compromising a murder scene.
I'm a bard, not a cop.
That's fine.
Did you catch anything strange on the scent of that wine?
Just that it's a very high class wine. I was hoping that the poison or that powder down the bottom would give off some sort of odor, but if it does, it escaped me. I got a piece of it onto the napkin, though. We can see if Dr. Crossford may be able to identify it.
And do you trust this doctor?
Said he trusts the doctor. I don't see why I shouldn't. She's patched me up a couple times.
Right, from your bar fights.
Bar fights, taking stray shots when sneaking out of a house, yeah.
Perhaps if the Partingtons didn't want murderers running about their estate, they should stop inviting those from the lower edge.
Was there somebody from the lower edge?
You?
Oh, I'm not from the lower edge.
But you frequent it. You're basically from there.
You're sounding like my brother Gaspard. Yes, I frequent it because it's a lot more fun. And being the black sheep of the family anyway, it's, where I guess my people are at. I may be an adulterer. I may be a cheat at cards. I may be a lot of things, but I am not a murderer.
But you are caught up in a murder investigation.
So is
and
it.
Tampering with evidence.
And so are you, my accomplice.
Oh, I am just an innocent dragon resting on your shoulders.
That's probably the funniest joke I've heard in a while. Anyway, we are overstaying our welcome. We need to leave.
Perhaps it's time to retire for the night.
Perhaps.
Good luck getting back to the room, and the dragon disappears.
I would be mad, but I respect the comedic timing of that. And Gaius is going to try to make his way back to the room.
I'm going to say you don't need to run a stealth check because it's well past everybody's bedtime, and so halls are empty. Sonari, as you go into your room and see Madeline, are you doing anything?
I just give her a nod and I go, "You okay?"
I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that I'll be sleeping much after that.
I understand that. I probably won't be sleeping too much either. So I suggest that you do try to sleep, but I get it if you don't. I'm just gonna go sit down on my bed, and I'm gonna take out the little message I have, and I start reading to myself and just trying to make sense of it.
Okay. You're keeping that to yourself then?
For the moment.
Sounds good. I would do the same thing. Reggie, you doing anything in your room all alone? Sad? Lonely?
Sad, lonely?
Mm-hmm.
Introspective.
Okay.
He knows he sent another servant after whoever ducked into the kitchen.
Obadias.
And the last time he tried to call for him was before any of this. So he's gonna try and say, "Obadias," one more time.
Nothing happens.
He goes to sleep.
Okay. Bellariel and Gaius, I'm assuming you're also going to go to sleep unless you wanted to talk once Gaius gets back to the room.
I'm probably asleep by the time Gaius gets back.
You don't give a fuck. Okay. Sounds good. Gaius gets back to his room. I'm assuming you might sleep or you might not sleep.
He makes a last couple notes in his book about what they found in the wine glass and everything. And then
the DM is framing me for murder.
We'll be the red herring.
And murder has 7 R's.
Murder.
Murder.
And for some reason it goes R, like all capital R's, one lowercase r, and then back up to a capital N.
And they're like, the DM. He
The fuck
clearly
is
was
the
crazy.
Spell backwards, it's red rum.
And afterwards, yeah, he's gonna go to sleep.
Okay. You guys all go to sleep. Some of you a little more traumatized than most. And the morning breaks, as it always does. And morning in Sargenty is very beautiful. You have the forest on one side of the city, the ocean, the quiet lull of it on the other side. And you can hear the birds outside and the sun streaming through these windows that you all have. And you wake up. You hear a slight knock at the door. And a very kind of cheerful voice goes, begging your pardon, lords and ladies, my name is Marion. I work with the kitchen staff. If you are needing any breakfast this morning, please feel free to head down to the banquet hall. Don't worry, it's now fit for human presence now. There's no any sort of murder scene. It's all cleaned up now. So please, if you need anything, don't pause and just call for me. My name is Marion. And you hear her kind of shuffle and do the same spiel at the next door. Begging your pardon, lords and ladies, my name is Marion. I'm with the kitchen staff for the Partington estate. If you need breakfast, it is down in the banquet hall. Not to worry, it is fit for human presence now, all cleaned up. Again, if you need anything at all, my name is Marion. Begging your pardon.
I step out, but I step out before she like says the spiel at our door, and I'm just like, Marion?
Oh, yeah, and it's the oldest woman you've ever seen. She is she's about 3 apples tall because she's so bent over. Oh, yes, that's me. My name's Marion. Begging your pardon, miss. My name is Marion.
Just goes to the spiel one more time.
Begging your pardon, miss. My name is Marion. If you require any breakfast at all, I will be downstairs cooking anything you so desire. Not to worry, the banquet is fit for human presence now. It's all cleaned up. And again, if you need anything, my...
And I'm just like, thank you,
Sorry,
Marion.
what's your name again?
She sounds like the speakers at Disneyland when they're repeating the same message over and over again every 10 feet.
Oh. Now I'm thinking about the with the Haunted Mansion theme,
Yep.
and then it goes to spooky Spanish.
Yeah.
Hola, señorita, mi nombre es Marion.
Just gonna open the door and start walking.
I'm just like, thank you, Marion.
She
and
kind of
then
looks after
look
you,
around
like
them.
not sure if she did your room yet. She's like,
They probably heard me.
It's worse than revelry. Oh my goodness.
you're so mean to Marion.
I love Marion.
I'm sorry, but loud noises in the morning, not great for somebody in the military.
I didn't
Oh,
get
really?
this because of y'all.
Yeah, really.
But
Loud
you
noises
don't
in the middle.
say.
No kidding.
She goes, is there anything you're wanting, ma'am? She says to you, Sonari. I can go down and whip it up real fast. They say I am the best cook in all of Sargenty.
I would say bacon would be really good at this time. I will probably see you at the banquet hall later.
Sounds good. I'm going right down there to cook up some banquet for you, my lady. And she kind of hobbles away. She goes exactly 0.2 miles an hour, but she's going.
She's shuffling.
She'll be there in an hour.
Does she
I'll
need
head
a
forward.
lift?
You can tell that she's not used to being the one to like go up the stairs. She's used to just being in the kitchen.
She will get a
It's
lift.
usually someone else's job to go knock on people's doors. What'd you say, Reggie?
She will get a lift if.
Oh, from Reggie?
Okay, you say this. Do you just like tuck her under your arm like a football and just go?
No. He will cradle like a seat.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I put all these hot NPCs in here, and you're going for the 90-year-old cook.
I'm being a nice person. They're
Whatever,
going
she-
0.2 miles an hour.
She, as you put her on your arm, she's like, "Oh, sir, thank you." She's blushing. Oh my!
You know, it's the old ladies who spread the rumors, and therefore all the other ladies will eventually follow.
All the other old ladies will eventually follow. You mean?
And the
Yeah, and all the
they'll
if the
tell
young
their
ladies
grandchildren.
and if the young ladies are paying attention, they'll actually hear it go.
Ah, yes, because that's what young people do. Listen to their elders.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. The older ladies are going to try to set them up.
Oh
The
yeah.
great
no, that makes
children.
They're
sense.
like, he's wonderful. He did all of these things, and they're like, yeah, grandma.
And then you
sure."
find out later that Marion is childless. Marion's childless. She goes, "You can drop me off right here, sir. Thank you so much. It's so rare to find a gentleman like you these days. Ooh, you remind me of my first boyfriend."
Thank you very much, Marianne. And good luck on cooking.
Is
I'll
there
go and
anything
look.
you'd like at all, sir? Like, I can cook almost anything you like. She's like twirling like her little gray hair.
If you happen to have mozzarella toast, I would very much like that.
Mozzarella toast for breakfast. You know what? For you, sir, I'll make some mozzarella toast. And she kind of goes into like the pushing doors of the kitchen, and you hear her go, "All right, lads, you heard them. We want some mozzarella toast right now, and we need some bacon on the double." And you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I've worked in a kitchen. That sounds about right.
I was gonna say
Exactly.
that's pretty accurate.
Steps into the
like,
kitchen, Gordon Ramsay switch.
Number one
Well,
rule:
yeah.
you do not piss off the cook.
She's like,
Have you
like,
seen?
piss off, piss off, piss off.
Like, have you seen Gordon Ramsay? Like the difference between he's like talking with wait staff compared to like
The
Is
cooks.
that-
Right, darling.
the
Whatever
cook-
you say, of course, that's fine. Whatever you say, darling. It's like, piss off, piss off, piss off. You, you, and you. It's like,
Out.
oh no. Yeah, exactly. So she turns into
it's-
Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen.
It's fucking raw.
Yeah, you donkey. So yeah, you hear the waitstaff go like, "Yes, chef," as they like start cooking. And it smells amazing there within like a couple minutes. What the rest are you guys doing?
she calls them a donkey, but they're actually like part donkey.
She would never be racist like that.
They're donkey centaurs.
Donkey tars? Donkey tars?
Donkey tars.
Or they're donkey people.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
Where are donkeys? Probably just gonna sit down pretty close to where he was sitting the other day. And reclaiming his drink. That's probably still there. Kind of looks at it like, no.
Mm-hmm. I would say that it's your old drink's not there. It's all
Yeah.
set out with new like orange juice, water, wine if you want it, grape juice, whatever. But it's like set for like a buffet, like a breakfast.
Yeah.
Constable Fairchild's down there. Kind of gives you a nod as you walk in. Reggie,
Jeffrey.
how you doing? How you doing?
Good morning. Hope you got some rest last night.
You can see that he looks like shit. He absolutely did not get any rest last night.
You
Yes,
really
what?
need to stop doing that to yourself.
Sorry, one of us has to be on a murder investigation. I'm
And one
sorry.
of us is apparently a suspect, so how's it going?
It's not personal, Reggie.
Yeah,
It's really
sure.
not.
Yeah, sure. Even though I'm the one who called out the one who ran away. Yeah, sure. okay.
Listen, we're gonna explain. We had some news happen last night. We'll explain it. I hope you can just hold out until then, okay? He kind of grabs
Obviously,
the
I'm gonna
muffin.
hold out.
He grabs the muffin. He starts unwrapping it. He goes like, I have to do my job, Reggie. I
Which-
really hope.
I really wish I could have helped.
I don't need your help, but thank you. It means a lot, and I promise you, Reggie, like it'll all get sorted. Okay? It's
Hmm.
like Reggie. I hate when you're mad at me.
I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Reggie, that's even worse.
Yes.
And at that moment, Lord Avros comes in and he goes, Reggie, Jeffrey, good morning, gentlemen. He goes, Reggie, I apologize for my sharp words last night. He also looks like shit, because someone sent him on a
Whatever.
fool's chase down the hall last night. He goes, I apologize for my sharp words last night. It's just been such a stressful 24 hours. I do apologize.
It's understandable. I mean, everything that's happened so far. Are you at least calm for now? Ready to eat? Got an appetite?
He kind of picks up a muffin, puts it back down, and goes, no, I seem to have lost my appetite. I'm waiting here for my sister, and my mother will not be joining us tonight, and neither will my grandfather, or this morning, and neither will my grandfather, but my sister will be down shortly. We have some news for everyone.
Very well. He kind of just takes his orange juice, drinks it, and kind of clears his throat a bit. It's like, so... Yeah, we can definitely rain check the spar. Right now it's not the time, obviously.
He goes, I appreciate you trying to take my mind off of stuff, Reggie, but yes, we need to, we'll do that another day for sure. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I've already entered the, I already went to the banquet hall, and, the moment I enter the room, I start looking for Haisung, see if he's around, and I, like, walk up and I grab, a glass of orange juice. I look over at the wine and I'm like, maybe later, and I just go, just start sipping the juice.
Okay. Haisung's not down yet, but that's no surprising because he's usually a late riser.
Yeah, typical.
What about Madeline, Arbariel, and Gaius?
I think Maddie, it takes a moment before heading down. She like washes her face, like cleans up and everything. She spent a lot of the night reading, and so she also like, hasn't really slept well, but she wants to come across as though she's okay. She she goes into her bag, and she always carries like little bags of tea with her and everything, and so she's like, so when she comes down, she prepares some of her own specific tea, because I don't think that she fully trusts anything. Like, she's like barely trusting the water that she's using.
Okay, that's valid. As you come in, Constable Fairchild goes up to you, gives you a little bow. He goes, Miss Madeline, your mother wanted me to inform you that I had already interviewed them quite early this morning, and your mother was quite tired. She took your father home, but I said that I still had to speak with you and the others in this group, just about some of the comings and goings of yesterday, but they just wanted me to pass along the message that they love you very much, sweet Maddie Muffin, and they hope you slept well, and they love you to pieces. Did they already mention that? If so, they're sorry. They don't mean to embarrass you. You're just their sweet little Muffin, Maddie, baby girl. And if you need anything, please feel like you can call them at any time. Your mummy loves you. Please be safe.
Does he have eidetic memory? Because damn.
Yeah, you guys are so rude, making fun of Jeffrey. He's quite smart.
Well, I mean, I know it's a feat. But
Jeffrey over here, super cop.
Yeah, he just says all of this with the straightest of face.
Thank you, Jeffries.
Of course. Did you call him Jeffers?
Jeffries.
I can probably put you all on this
Jeffers.
stage.
Actually, that is one question. It's bugging me all night.
Okay.
I did send Obadias after the one who ran away. Is he okay?
You don't know.
I'm asking Jeffrey.
Oh. He goes, Reggie, again, I just ask that you have a little bit of patience.
No, like, reaction at the name.
No reaction.
Okay.
Arbelriel and Gaius. Fashionably late.
Fashionably late. Gotta spend a good amount of time doing the morning routine, making sure I'm looking just as good as I did yesterday when I arrived.
It's hard to top yesterday, but you manage.
Well, without, my products at home, I have to use what this establishment provides. But
Oh, by the
I do my
way,
best.
it's like a 5-star hotel in there. There's stuff in there that even you've never had, but I'd hope you'd be pleased with it. Like high-end stuff.
Fit for a high elf. But after doing the morning routine and making sure I'm nice and prim and proper, I will head down as well.
Okay. As you come in, Constable Fairchild gives you like a small bow. He goes, "If you wouldn't mind having a seat, Lord Arbelriel, we're just waiting on one more."
And then we can get these interviews done, and we can all be on our way, I assume.
Yes. At that moment, Lady Marina comes in. She goes over to sit by her brother. She kind of gives Maddie, she gives you a little nod because she remembers you from the library. Good morning. And she goes next to her brother. You can see, Maddie, that she's like trying to talk to him, but he's very like kind of very focused on his food. It's almost like he's uncomfortable. Otherwise, we're just waiting on Gaius.
And Gaius, in typical cat fashion, I think while Arbariel is getting ready, he's just like sprawled out on like his bed, like arms and legs like hanging off of it, just like halfway, just like snoring. And like he gets up, as probably like as soon as like Arbariel's almost finished, he like gets dressed. He just like dips his hand, and like water just runs through his hair just to like get it all on bed thing, and then just dunks his face in the water, wakes himself up, and then heads down.
Okay, you get ready like you're in Guantanamo Bay, and you head down to the banquet hall, and
Yeah,
once you walk through.
He's used to sleeping in taverns. I mean,
Better the water than the ale this time.
exactly.
That's true.
Hmm.
As you walk in, Jeffrey kind of goes, "All right, last group is here." He goes, "Everyone, feel free to dig in. There are some things that I must kind of inform you all of. I wanted to let you know we did find the culprit for the murder of Lord Partington last night. He is being held under house arrest until actually," and he looks at Reggie, goes, "General Theronius is on his way to escort him with a small retinue to the prison in the city for further interviews, for, I guess, investigation, and also to escort the murder weapon that way as well. So you are all essentially no longer under suspicion, but if you would, I would beg your patience just a little bit longer. I do need to know some of what you saw last night, just to see if it lines up with what we found out as well, if you don't mind. But feel free to have breakfast first, and we will get down to it afterwards."
It was like just still halfway chewing through his mozzarella toast, and it's like, oh, well, I do remember when the lights were out and the fireworks went off.
Oh, and he goes like, "Oh, just hold, Reggie, for a moment. We'll do individual interviews, unless you all really prefer to be interviewed together, but I think individual might be best."
And it's the same as yesterday. So
You can see that Marina kind of goes like, "I'm sorry. You said that you caught the culprit. Who is this person?" And Avros kind of leans over and goes like, I will tell you later, sister. She goes like, no. You, who is this person? They're in our house right now. Like, I want to know who it is. And Avros goes like, Marina, I'm sorry. I will tell you later. Please don't make a scene. She goes, no, this is my home. Like, this is my father who was dead just a moment ago. Like, there. I want to know who killed my father. And the constable kind of like goes like you're gonna find out soon enough anyway. He goes, it's Obadias Marley. We found him out late last night in the gardens. He seemed lost and on his way out of the house, and normally that wouldn't be cause for concern, but he had the murder weapon on him and it had your father's blood on it. So please just let us.
Actually, I
thought he-
disagree. As
Okay.
the Minotaur stands up.
You can see that the constable kind of goes like, there was a knife with your father's blood on it on him.
I sent Obadias after the one who ran ahead of him. Did you not think to understand why he might have been in a daze when he was so clear-headed when I sent him after the actual culprit?
And Jeffrey kind of goes like, are you sure you know what you saw? The lights were flashing and everything.
Because I yelled at Obadias, he looked at me as the person had already left.
What person was this?
Another person with another jacket from the staff doesn't necessarily mean they were actually part of the staff.
So Obadias was in the room
With me,
as Lord
as
Partington
the
was
other
dying.
one, as the person was, as our Lord was dying, another person left wearing a jacket. So
That
I
does
know
not
for
change
a
the fact that Obadias was in the room as Lord Partington died.
Yes. However, it does change the fact that I sent him after another person who was running away.
You sent
know.
a possible murderer out of the room with an alibi as to why he was leaving.
No, I sent somebody I trusted from this establishment after someone else who was acting suspicious.
Have you known Obadias long? You've known this man. You've known this man.
Better than the person who ran away, and probably, if we're going to continue this, better than you.
Listen, Reggie. I know you probably don't want to accept that you might have made a mistake here, but Obadias was in the room. He had a knife with Lord Partington's blood on it.
And
We've
you said
already
you
had a
found
test-
him in a bit of a daze, lost and confused, on the very grounds he's been working on.
I'm going to have to agree with Reggie here. Being close to the body doesn't automatically make you a killer.
No, it doesn't. It makes you a suspect.
And judging from what our Lord unfortunately went through, that doesn't seem like a knife wound.
You said that he had a wound on his hand. I remember that Marina was telling me that you made a very
A
I didn't say there was a lot of blood. I said there was blood.
But a knife would usually leave a slash, even if it's a pinprick slash.
Yeah, I've been stabbed with plenty of knives before. They don't leave wounds like that.
Well, the knife is not very big, but it's enough to leave a small wound like that.
He drank, and
I'm sorry, Madeline.
don't
Do you
think-
know something we don't?
It just seemed like he wasn't stabbed. I don't understand.
He wasn't stabbed, Madeline. I'm sorry, miss. I don't mean to upset you. He was not stabbed. He was pricked with a small knife that was found on Obadias.
Was there poison on the knife? I don't see how a pinprick could kill someone as violently as he
That is
drank.
curious.
We have reason to
And-
believe that both the poisoning and the knife wound are linked. We are doing investigations into the poison that was found within Lord Partington.
Can you show the knife?
I can't because the general is coming to pick it up soon. You can speak with him then if you wish.
Actually, I would very much like that. I would risk my commission over it.
Okay.
Jeffries. As
Please
a
don't
matter
call
of
me
fact,
Jeffries in that tone. I don't like when people yell at me, Reggie. You know that. And it's just Jeffrey, not plural.
Jippers.
Jeffers. Jeffy.
Jeffy.
I think at this point, our Belreal kind of like leans in to Gaius and says quietly, "Perhaps they should be checking the residue in the goblet as well."
I was hoping to hold on to this card and a little closer to my chest, but yes, last thing I want is an innocent man going to jail.
I just
Jeff,
want to go home.
It's Jeffrey. But yes, Lord Tybalt, what can I do for you?
and it's Gaius, not Lord Tybalt.
I apologize,
Come
guys.
on, we've
What
been
can I do
through
for you?
enough. We've been through enough together, Jeffrey. You should know this. Did you bother checking the contents of the wine glass?
We did. We checked it to match with the poison that was within Lord Partington's body. I will say that Dr. Gustford has been an immense help with this, with her knowledge of the body and also her vast knowledge of various poisons throughout the land. She has been a great boon to this. She correctly identified that both the poison in the glass and the poison that was found within Lord Partington was the same. She says that the knife wound, which I'm going to refer to as a wound, even though you all insist it is a pinprick. You know, it is what it is. The knife wound was done around the same time as the poisoning, which leads us to believe that both the poisoning and the wound are linked.
that means that whoever he shook hands with at the same time, or leading right up to his, introduction to the dinner, was a suspect.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
have you sent any of
unfortunate-
those people home?
Unfortunate for all of us, I do believe he did shake hands with the majority of us.
The thing is that the poison that Dr. Gusford found within Lord Partington and within the glass is actually a very fast-acting poison. It's called Nightwing, and it's incredibly deadly, very violent, as you all saw, and it's, like I said, fast-acting. So it's not supposed to be in the system for very long. It probably occurred when he took the first sip after toasting everybody.
And it doesn't completely dilute in wine.
Sorry?
It doesn't dilute in wine all the way.
You're right, it doesn't.
Did you find poison on what was his name? Obadias?
Oh, Obadias, yes.
Obadias. Did you find poison on him?
We didn't, but there's no reason to
Then-
suspect that he might have just,
Was
But
there
it-
any
Then
left on the knife?
the most that you could say that this man tried to do was, give him an inconvenient pinprick. That having blood, if the
well,
if
that
the
is why
poison
we're
def-
bringing him into the prison for further inquiry. It's just very unfortunate that he happened to have the knife with his master's blood on it around the same time that his master died.
I'm starting to see now. Okay.
Okay, Reggie.
No, I get it now.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you do. He goes, if you would all please enjoy your breakfast before the general gets here, I can interview you all separately or together, as you kind of have already been doing right now. That's fine. And he picks up a muffin and kind of storms out of the room and is like munching on it very angrily. But it's still a muffin, so it's not very intimidating.
Let's see.
You can see,
I-
by the way, Madeline,
Mhm.
you can see that Marina is brokenhearted. And she is trying very hard to keep a straight face, but you can see that tears are starting to appear in her eyes. You're sat across from her at the table.
Hmm.
She actually gets up from the table and she starts to storm out, and you hear Avros goes like, Marina, please, just... And he kind of just sits down too, seems to think better of it, stands up, and then goes after his sister.
I just feel like there's more to it. I don't You said that he was here, and did he serve him? Obadias, was he the one that served the wine? It seems like they wanted
He
to get it
served
done
my
as quick
ale.
as.
He was going around serving a lot of drinks the other night. Makes him a high-value suspect at this.
Makes
I
him
still don't think he did it.
makes him also the perfect patsy.
Exactly. I think he's being framed.
Framed
That's the
terribly,
issue.
but it framed terribly as well. The boy was handing out drinks to everyone. The poison is found in the drinks, and they tried to frame him with the knife wound.
Exactly.
This is sloppy work at best.
Yeah. So
At that moment, Mary comes out. Oh, hello, lords and ladies. I've got some more of that bacon for you. Who's hungry?
more toast with mozzarella, please. And it's
Oh.
basically just pizza.
It's just pizza.
I'll tell the kitchen staff right away. More of that wonderful mozzarella on bread. She turns around and is like, you lazy dogs, more of that gross, nasty pizza. That is so gross.
It's pizza. It's pizza breakfast. Come on.
It's like pizza bagels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because you put pizza on something doesn't make it better than just regular pizza at any other time of the day. I'm just
True.
sticking by that.
True.
You haven't had cold
Fantasy
pizza
world.
for breakfast?
Fuck no, because I like my food to feel like not like it's dead.
You're lost.
You're not.
You're lost.
I think we need.
Stand by it. I think cold pizza for breakfast is overrated and gross.
It's a good hangover trick. So yes, that is where we are as far as this goes. Basically, we're at a point where he seemed lost and confused,
He might have been
Mine-
hit with something.
or physically or spell.
Or just plain shock.
That too, but which was found in the gardens. Yes,
Yes.
That's what he said.
I think I know a good place to take a stroll later then, or now. Between the kitchen staff, entryway, and where he was in the gardens.
Did they say where they were keeping him?
He did.
No, and quite frankly, I'm probably going to join the general in the investigation at the barracks. So, I'll have to rely on the rest of you, if you were so willing.
I
I
think
think
we
a chat. I think a chat could go down well.
clear up some things.
Okay. Who would be willing to stay here and do the grounds?
You all do enjoy getting into trouble, don't you?
Life is boring without trouble.
See? Reggie
Trouble
gets it.
Trouble just finds me.
Life is too busy for trouble.
I've been told I am trouble.
You are trouble.
Yeah, but I'm fun trouble.
I think Avros would disagree.
What kind of trouble suits you? That's the real question. What is the least annoying trouble for you, my lord?
All trouble is annoying trouble.
But what is the least?
It's all on equal ground.
So
I
you're
would
not going to
continue-
be joining the investigation then?
I would like to get these interviews done with so I can go home and get back to managing the significant amount of business that my family oversees.
What does your family oversee exactly?
You are unfamiliar with the
You'll have to
Sargeras
forgive
name?
me. My last 2 or 3 years have been training to be a wing, so...
It's quite simple. The shoes that we wear, the candelabras that light our hallways, the dinnerware that feeds us, no matter where your eyes rest, my good friend, they rest upon Sarveris. We produce that which makes your lives easy, and that gives us power to make your lives very difficult as well.
Soak into someone who's eaten with their hands, walked bare-hoofed, and quite honestly, still alive and still here.
Yes, and those uniforms that you don when you go train with your friends, who do you think produces those? Who do you think produces the weapons that all of you train with?
Not your fair hands, I'm sure, because you don't thread them. You delivered them.
That's why
the
we have
difference.
employees. That's why we have factories.
I feel like I'm
That's
back
why
at home.
We fund them, and without our funds, why,
we
you'd be
find another
running around
person
naked.
to
I've just
fund
now
them.
realized why I
find
don't
someone
go to
else.
parties.
Yeah,
Indeed.
see, this is why
And-
I actually prefer the far edge.
If you'll excuse
I'm
me,
just,
Done.
there's trouble afoot.
I'm just sitting here just going,
Gaius gets up as he's
These rich
walking
people.
by. He just like grabs like a muffin off of somebody's plate as he walks out of the dining room.
As you go to walk out, you see the door open and you see this fellow walk in. How do I do the big again? Control Z.
Control Z.
Shift Z. Yeah.
Shift Z,
Oh,
that's
shit.
right. Shift Z.
There you go.
Huh.
He goes,
Oh, that dude's totally
I
a
need-
werewolf.
Ah,
I need to
like
make
it.
him. He goes, I'm sorry, Lord Gaius. I'm going to need you to take your seat. And Reggie, you know that this is General Zymar Theronius.
he'll stand up from his chair.
First
Still
off,
eating.
you could just call me Gaius. Why exactly do I need to take my seat?
Because I'm taking over this investigation, and I'm going to need to ask you a few questions. All of you.
Again with the questions. I thought you caught the culprit.
It seems that you all seem to have a problem with the fact that this man very clearly murdered Lord Partington, so I'd like to know what you saw that would essentially set him free and help us find the actual culprit. Not that I think you will.
You mean aside from it being far too simple and easy that you just straight up caught the killer?
Well, if you know so much, Lord Gaius, then please take a seat and enlighten me. And at that moment, we're actually going to take a break, 10-minute breaks, because
Yeah.
I gotta go to the bathroom. And you guys can fill your drinks, go to the bathroom, whatever, and we'll be back in about like 10 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye!
fries.
And we are
How
back.
dare you? They're called fries, not chips. You
And
sick.
I believe
Freaks.
Malls is muted.
No.
No, they're not.
No, I'm
Wait.
not.
Maybe your hearing's
No,
bad.
no, I'm an idiot. For some reason, I hit the mute button on the channel that had you guys coming through.
Ah.
So you weren't
Oopsie.
muted. I muted everyone.
Okay.
It was your fault.
It was my fault. It was me,
I'd
Austin.
like an apology.
I'm
You're
Anyway,
sorry.
the
they're called
culprit.
fruits.
No, they're not. We're not fucking French. All right, everybody's here. What a hell of a night. We're back in the morning with delicious muffins, bacon, and disgusting mozzarella on bread.
How dare.
Nope, I said it, and I'll stand by it. Made by the wonderful Marion. And I mean, there was a bit of a verbal spar going on between Arbeliel and Reggie, which was very entertaining to watch. And as Gaius was about to leave, as Gaius is wont to do, a very intimidating man with dark hair, very scarred face, walks through the door. Who you know as Reggie, as General Zymar Theronius. And he kind of doesn't really ask. He more so orders everybody to take a seat.
Now, is it
And-
just us in here, or is it the other guests as well?
It's just you five. And flanked by flanking General Zymar is everybody's favorite little lieutenant. Lieutenant Kieran.
Hey.
He kind of looks over at Reggie, like, apologetically, like, I'm sorry, mate. Like, so
Don't apologize. This is par for the course, if you remember.
And General Zymar, he goes, I don't want to have to, how do you say, wield my position, but I will need everyone to take a seat. I would love to get to the bottom of this without any raised voices or egos being bruised as they are wont to do in this part of the world. And he kind of
Reggie.
takes a seat at the head of the table, and Kieran sits next to him.
Yeah. Reggie will sit down where he's at.
Yep.
He goes, oh, go ahead.
Actually, I'll just take my seat, like, at, like, you know, the one that's in front of me.
I should probably get the Partingtons out of here. He goes, so what is this information that apparently I am so ignorant of?
Well, from what we've gathered from Detective Reggie or Jeffrey's over here.
He goes,
Hi.
it's Jeffrey.
Anyway, we heard that they found a servant by the name of Obadias in the gardens, looking lost and confused, holding a knife. I had the fortune of meeting Obadias earlier in the night, before the incident. He seemed clear of mind. He was very astute in delivering drinks to and fro, apparating back and forth. And the description they gave of his demeanor in the gardens does not match that.
And what description did the constable give you?
Lost and confused on the grounds that he works.
Jeffrey leans forward. He goes, I didn't say confused. I just said lost.
No,
Mm,
you said that he seemed out of it.
yeah, out of it, as in loopy, confused.
Out of it could seem exhausted too.
Mhm.
But he was lost. And General Zymar goes, please, Constable, I would like to hear from these people. That's why we have called. this interview. I do not need your interruptions. We may talk later if you have anything to bring up. And the constable goes, yes, of course, General, I apologize, and sits back in his chair. And the general looks over and goes, is there anything else you wish to add, Reggie? You may speak freely with me.
Yes. At the time of the incident, the lights went out, and then the fireworks went off. Obadias was in my vicinity, to where you could hear and see me. As I'm looking around, I see another individual, could not see their face, but wearing the same attire as the other servants who were helping the guests, dart into the kitchen staff area. I then turned to Obadias and let him know that someone was fleeing.
And when you turned to I apologize to interrupt you. When you turned to Obadias and you asked him to go after that person who is leaving, where did he come from?
Obadias?
Did you call him to you, like how he magically appears, as per the magic of the Bartington family, or was he already there?
He was already there in my vision.
Okay.
And then said what I said to him, and then he disapparated away.
Did you see where he was before you talked to him?
I believe he was serving another guest.
All right. And what was he doing leading up to Lord Partington's death? Did you happen to keep an eye on him, or were you eating? I don't blame you if you were. It would not behoove anybody to be keeping an eye on any of the servants. Their whole job is to be essentially invisible. But if you happen to know anything about what he was doing leading up to it, I beg you, share.
Leading up to the incident, I was having a conversation with the late Lord's father.
Lord Solantis?
Yes.
Who is not here this morning.
Correct.
All
from
right.
what I understand. And between our conversation, learned that he was having disapprovals, as most lords do, of the company within.
Of course. If you don't mind, Reggie, I'm going to be asking some questions of other people. And he turns to Gaius, he goes, you seem to have a lot of information about the way that the Lord Partington died. I would beg you share of it with me.
Well, we know it was poison, as Jeffrey here has so kindly pointed out. I did notice a pinprick on the Lord's finger as he was going through his episode. But...
And as the doctor very kindly found out for us, the pinprick happened during the time of Lord Partington dying of the poison. Poisoning death that took about maybe 2 minutes, during which the lights went off and the fireworks were going off. Is that correct?
Yes, but I don't know about others, but I can see in the dark.
Of course. I wasn't trying to contradict you, I just want to make sure I have the timeline correct. So the lights went off and the fireworks started going off while Lord Partington was in his death throes. Is this correct?
More or less.
More or less, or no?
Was he already in the process of biting it when the fireworks went off?
Yes.
Yes.
A fact I felt very bad of because it felt very poor taste to have fireworks going off while someone is very clearly dying.
Thanks
But
for
yes.
a dramatic intro.
Mm-hmm.
That fits with what I remember, yes.
I appreciate your candor.
So-
You said you know that he was poisoned. I know that the constable shared this information with you, but is there anything else you can let me know about maybe some I know that you lingered behind Gaius while the Lord Partington was dying and the doctor was trying to keep him on this side of the realm. Did you happen to see anything?
I saw what was going on with his body, with the black spider-like veins going up his skin and the albeit agony that he was in as the poison was doing its work. But the good doctor made sure that I was ushered out of the room before I can do anything to lend a hand. I gave her the information that the pinprick was on his finger. But
She was very appreciative of that, truly. It's just that in the moment she was trying to keep the good Lord alive.
My mind was bothering me last night. Something just didn't seem to fit. And I'm sorry, Jeffrey, I took a look at the crime scene later in the night.
Jeffrey goes like, and you see the general look up at the constable and goes, "You left the crime scene unattended?" And Jeffrey goes, "I apologize. I was looking after the prisoner per your direction."
Don't blame Jeffrey. He was here. It's just... I can be
And Jeffrey goes,
sneaky.
"And I heard a commotion outside. I was worried that something was going on with Lord Avros. I heard a sound out there and it sounded like he was swearing and running. I was worried."
That was me. Lord Avros was about to throw a dagger at me, but
And you see Jeffrey
sort of
goes like,
distracted him. But yes, I was able to slip away, dove underneath the table here, and waited calmly until you left.
and you see the general goes like, "Sounds like you're a good bit of trouble, Gaius."
That's what I'm told. And he's gonna reach into his coat. He's gonna pull out the napkin, and he's not gonna throw it at the general. Just try to like show a little bit of respect to his nature. He's gonna walk down. He's gonna place the napkin in front of him. I was able to get that out of the bottom of the wine glass. Apparently, the poison that's used tends to not completely dissipate and stays there hours after it's been applied.
The general kind of picks it up because you were, how do you say, compromising a crime scene?
Not necessarily compromising the crime scene. I used a napkin. I didn't handle anything with my hands directly.
But you took something from it. No matter. And
I
he kind
was
of
going to provide it to
glances
the
at
doctor in case she didn't know about the poison.
He says, "No matter. I appreciate it, but we were already aware of this residue left by the poison." He goes, "It is a
Information
poison."
that I did not know.
And that's all right. This is why we do our jobs. But I do appreciate an entrepreneurial spirit. With that being said, this poison is, as the constable told you, very fast acting. And the doctor, who's been working tirelessly all day and night, found that the injury to the Lord's finger happened during the poisoning, meaning that when the lights were going on and off, someone managed to prick his finger, take some of his blood, and get out of there. Now, I know that it's not ideal, and I know that some of you are very attached to this Obadias. However, I feel I would not be doing my job if I didn't at least investigate him, as he was there at the scene of the crime. He did leave. Per your request, Reggie, he did leave, and he was found later with the weapon. I do not wish to anger any of you or upset any of you, but I do have to do my job. I hope you can understand this.
It feels like you are quickly jumping to a conclusion.
I'm not jumping to a conclusion, Lord Gaius.
Simply
I'm just
holding the murder weapon does not make you the murderer.
I understand that, Gaius, but I would be remiss not to investigate this man. I can't simply let him go free. I do need to ask him some questions.
I understand that. It's more that his name is being besmirched by announcing it to everyone that he is the murderer.
I didn't announce it to everyone. I announced it to the Partingtons, and we announced it to you five. Are you going to go spread some words in your taverns, Bard?
Maybe. Depends on if true justice is actually served.
True justice is my mistress. I am trying to conduct this investigation as fairly as possible, but I simply cannot let someone go because someone likes him. I do have to ask him some questions.
I have no opinion on the matter. I'm just saying that it just seems too convenient that if he is such a
course.
professional killer that he is able to poison the Lord, stab the Lord, and leave without anybody noticing, but he's just found in the grounds of the garden? A man who has the
This
ability to
investigation-
apparate?
Absolutely. This investigation is still ongoing, Gaius. We are looking into other places as well, but again, and he kind of stands up, I do need to investigate all avenues of possibility, and I hope you can respect that and not get in my way.
You won't see me.
General,
Yes, Lord Arbelriel.
in that same vein of investigating all possible avenues here, and not that I want to cast doubt upon any one person in particular, but you know this world, it can be fairly cutthroat.
He kind of like brushes a finger along his scars, goes, yes, I am quite aware of that.
Now, I didn't see anything per se. I saw no more than you yourself, General, as we were seated next to each other. However, if this...
Actually, I wasn't here last night. I was supposed to sit next to you, I assume, but unfortunately I got held up with another matter at work.
My apologies. I saw the nameplate and just assumed.
I understand.
Well, I was at the very least sat next to Lord Avros, so I haven't seen any more than he did. However, we all were fixed on Lord Partington as he was giving his speech and as he was befallen by the sudden and lethal illness. And I don't recall seeing anyone come within his proximity to apply this wound that he had. However, and I do hate to put this thought out there, but Lady Yadira was with him the whole time. She was the
His
last and only person to touch him before he fell.
I mean, according to the constable, he was also surrounded by his son and his daughter on both sides of him.
He was, but that was after the incident had already occurred.
But they were close enough.
They were, of course.
I understand where you're going with this, but I am, like I said, investigating all possible avenues, and that does include the good lady Adira Partington. So not to worry. I would, perhaps, not go entirely back to your business. It might behoove you to maybe put some extra precautions on yourself, Lord Arbelriel, because it looks like this killer is going after very powerful men, and you yourself are a very powerful man. So if you do hear anything, I would very much like to hear it.
You will be the first to know.
Of course. Is there anything else that anyone else wishes to share with me to aid this investigation? Again, I would love to hear it.
Not at the moment.
Sonari just takes another sip and it just minds her own business. You know, Kermit me.
Nothing comes to mind, General.
Very well then. And he stands up to his full height, which is very tall and intimidating. Goes, I must ask your leave then, lords and ladies. I have to escort Mr. Marley to the prison for further investigation. Again, I apologize if this caused any distress to any of you, but if you do hear anything, I would love to also be privy to that information. And he kind of inclines his head, turns, and he goes out into the hall, and Constable Fairchild follows after him too, leaving just Lieutenant Kieran behind, who looks very tired.
I look over at Kieran's like, long night too, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a rush. I thought I was just going to be dancing with pretty girls, and yet here I am on the job again. He goes, I really do feel bad because I know Obadias quite well.
How long has he worked here before?
he grew up with the Partingtons.
It
He
just
was, yeah, he, I believe that, at least from what Lord Avros told me, it's that he was found on the streets as like an orphan child, and Lord Partington brought him in and promised him a house and everything, and his wife even bestowed magical powers about him so that he can disappear and appear at will whenever he's needed.
yeah, which makes very little sense that he would ever be found lost.
Listen,
On
you
these
didn't get it
grounds.
from me, but I also think there's something fishy going on here.
Hmm.
And between you and me, and he kind of leans into the table, I don't think the Partingtons believe it either. It seems that he's their most loyal person in the entire house. He's like a family member to them, but you
I've
know, even family members have been known to turn. I don't know. It's just absolutely turning my head around.
honestly, I think it's just a very bad frame job. And another part of it is that I would risk my freaking commission in the wings to protect that man.
Well, that's very big of you.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
I know this world is filled with magics. Whether it was a physical trauma, mental trauma, or a magical trauma, something affected Obadias.
That's very possible.
I would say
I know that the doctor looked him over as well. She
Hmm.
might have more information, and she might have more information about the Lord Partington. But again, doctor-patient confidentiality. I don't know
Right.
how much she's going to be willing to tell, but she's still here. They're keeping her here, even though I know she's asked several times to at least go home, but they need her here for the investigation. But
Alright. Is it possible we could send a small two-man group to watch over her?
the doctor or Obadias?
The doctor.
Why do you want to watch over her?
You just said it yourself. She's pretty much involved in this investigation as well.
Do you think something's going to happen to her?
Quite honestly, I think there's a lot of things that could happen to a lot of people.
When you say two
May-
man, do you mean me and you, or are you thinking of someone else?
Oh,
I'm sorry, Reggie. I've got stuff to do. The general's got me running like a chicken with my head cut off.
two of our trusted friends from the wings. Not
He's-
us.
I don't think he's gonna be letting anyone else in here other than what he's already got, and he doesn't want to disturb the doctor. She's very busy at work.
Just
I think this might be
standing
something that you
by.
might have to do.
Very well. I can at least do myself for that. Well, I'd count as two people. That'll work.
He goes, listen, I know that I'm a lieutenant of the wings, but if you guys are looking for anything else, there's only so much I can do in an official capacity, but if you happen to find anything else, like, just look in. I mean, I won't
what-
say who it's from.
What are our bounds? And are we able to go outside to those gardens?
Oh, did the constable not tell you? Like, you guys are free to go, I suppose, but he just wanted to have those interviews with you first to get the information that was missed, but I
No,
suppose you
that
guys are
was-
essentially free to go.
I think I'll be staying on the grounds just to keep an eye on things here. Honestly,
Okay.
it doesn't feel like the night's over. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And get some rest when you can.
You are literally not the boss of me. And he stands up to his full height, which is about half of the general's, and he kind of walks out to the room and he gives a little bow, lords and ladies, and he kind of leaves.
As all of this is going on, the moment the general left, Gaius pulled that book out and just started writing down everything.
Okay.
So, who wants to go see the gardens and who wants to go see the doctor?
I put my drink down and I go, I am going to go find where my friend is. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find where they're keeping poor Obadiah before they take him away to be potentially interrogated. And I turn and I leave the room.
You're not taking anyone with you? It's okay if you don't.
Anyone's welcome to come with me, but I'm focused on I need to find Hyesung and then I need to find Obadiah.
Okay.
I'm a little familiar with Dr. Crossford. I can go pay her a visit.
Dr.
Hmm.
Gusford.
Is Gusford? Oh yeah.
Gustford.
Yep, that's a G, not a C.
Mhm.
Anyhow. No obligations,
I
of course.
I can go with for the doctor, or I suppose I can look at the grounds if there's too many people going after to speaking with Dr. Gusford.
Yeah. I feel like taking a stroll in the gardens myself. First thing, get some fresh air, possibly.
I am actually keen to go pay Lord Avros a visit before I take my leave.
Understandable, my lord. And I shall see you when I see you again. And he begins walking out, trying to find an outdoor exit to the gardens.
Okay. So you're not going to go visit the doctor.
Not this time, no.
So it's going to be Madeline, Gaius going to visit the doctor. Arbelriel wants to go see Avros. Denari wants to go see Haisung and Obadias. And you want to go to the garden?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm rolling a dice to see who we follow first. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Sorry.
It's a D4!
No, I had I had Cenari as 1, Fox as 2, Rojan as 3, Sugar as 4, and Weirds as 5, and it kept rolling 6. I'm like, hello? Like 6, 6, 6. Enough.
Everyone dies.
The story ends, I'm sorry.
Cenari, you go as you are going you are stopped at the door by Marion, and she goes, "Love, did you have everything that you wanted to eat today?"
Oh, yes, I had the bacon. It was absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for your hard work.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
You went around and woke people up this morning, didn't you?
I did. I know. I'm not really used to being the one who goes about, you know, getting all of those people up. That's usually Obadias' job. But getting these old knees up in action. You know what I mean?
Oh, you must have walked a lot. Do you know which way did you happen to run into a pink tiefling? Very bright.
Oh, that handsome devil. I absolutely did. He's on the 2nd floor. He's in the hummingbird suite. I can show you there if you like. And
that would be lovely. Thank you so much.
Rojan, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I said Malls. I was going to say Malls, thank you for that $25 extra life donation from Grandma Marina.
Marion, yes.
Marion.
And so she goes, before we go, and she comes out. She's got a big tray full of 1 health potion for each of you. She goes,
Hey.
make sure you take, these are my own concoction. I kind of like to mess around with potions and stuff when I'm not cooking. Just say it's from Grandma Marion.
Oh,
Healing
thank you
potion,
so much.
check.
Yes.
How much does
Also,
it heal?
How much does it heal?
Yeah, like
What's normal for that?
1d4 plus 2.
Sure.
I think it's 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, is it
Oh,
2d4?
the base 2?
Let me see.
I think that's the standard. Let me double check.
Yeah. Standard healing potion, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, I'm not going to check because I apparently can't spell potion.
Oh, no. You use SH.
I don't know what I was typing, but it was not potion.
I feel like that's not a lot.
It is.
I'm gonna say
It's a lot for level 3.
2d4.
Yeah.
Am I stupid?
I mean, I only have a max of 14 HP, so 2d4 is pretty significant healing.
You have how
Yeah.
much HP?
14.
Okay, that makes more sense. So this came out to 8 points of healing, I guess.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. There are 2 instances of potion of healing. They're the same.
Also, I posted this in Discord, but mozzarella bread is just an open-faced mozzarella stick.
Thank you.
Ew,
Gonna dip it in marinara sauce.
that's quite
Yes.
enough from you guys. That's quite enough.
just gotta keep bringing it up.
Malls is
Does that
gonna.
mean that
What's
does
that?
that mean does that mean a mozzarella stick is just a cheese calzone?
Yes.
Yes.
That's enough.
We're breaking walls. I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about that kind of food for breakfast. Breakfast food is for breakfast.
Anything
Anyway.
is breakfast.
She hands out all of the potions to you, but when she gets to Reggie, kind of like very reluctantly, because of the mozzarella bullshit.
But
Shows-
he was so nice to her.
It's a mozzarella.
Yeah.
It's a mozzarella health potion.
She puts her hand on your shoulder, Sonar. She goes, between you and me, Obadias is like a son to me. Please, if you find anything at all about him that can free his name, please, I beg of you, I really need him back at my side.
Is he? Do you want to tell me about him a little bit? Like what's he like? Because Sanari never met Obadiah. She has no idea who the hell. I don't like. I know he's a cat. I don't think anyone else. She doesn't know he's a cat. She's never met him.
Well, he's the most loyal person you could ever have in your corner. He's always ready to help. He loves the Lord Partington like a brother, and he loves the Lady Partington like a sister. And I miss him. I'm worried for him. I'm scared for him. So just please do whatever you can.
I'll do my best.
And as you do that, she's got her hand on your shoulder. You feel a bit of warmth kind of come down her arm into her hand and into you. It's like, I can't do much, but I can do that. And you have an inspiration point.
Oh yeah.
Bard cook. Bard cook. Bard cook.
Actually, do you want to do an insight check for me, Effie?
Yes, I can. What's my wisdom? Oh, I'm not very wise. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, 15, 16.
With your experience with the people in the eyes, you've come across all manner of people, all manner of magic, all manner of warrior, rogue, whatever. With Marion, there is something very different about her. It's almost, I know she's old, but there's something almost kind of the magic that goes through you. It feels almost like ancient. You can't really find another word for it, but it is old magic.
Yeah, Sanari immediately picks up, like, she gets that, she goes, okay, I need to be careful with this one. But on the outside, she's like, thank you, Marion. Did you want some help getting, you said you showed me to the hummingbird suite. Did you want some help getting there? Like,
Oh no, these bones are still quite spry. And she turns and she starts to shuffle up the stairs. I'm not gonna lie to you, Effie. It's gonna take you like a half hour to get to the hummingbird suite if you take Marion with you.
and I just say, actually, you know what? I think I might know the way. But just to refresh my memory, how many turns is it on this to the second floor?
Oh yes, dearie. I know I'm not quite as spry as you, no matter how hard I try. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go up the stairs, you're gonna go all the way down to the end of the hallway, take a lift, you're gonna see a giant bookcase on your right hand side. When you say that, you have to go 3 doors down, one more time, another right, then you're gonna see a giant window with a view of the sea. You're gonna take another right, and then you're gonna get into the Golden Hall. That's where all of our main suites are from the Dragon Dynasty. This house is quite old, and then you're going to take a lift, and that's when we get into the animal suites.
Fantastic.
And then after you're in the animal suites, then you're going to be going down lift, right, another lift, and that's going to be the hummingbird suite. All right?
Thank you so much, Mary.
I hope I was some help. You guys are all so brave and daring. I wish I was like you.
Oh, I don't think I could possibly be as brave as you are.
And she
And
winks, and then she leaves.
Then I take my leave. And do I need to roll to remember that?
You know what? Sure.
Straight intelligence. Let's go.
I don't know if you guys know this. Marion's probably one of my favorite NPCs.
Gonna be asking questions about
love
them
her.
during the DM talks.
So,
What?
so
What'd you
it's
say,
just a-
Weirds?
Something. Behold roleplays DM talks.
Oh.
So just a straight intelligence
Sure.
roll.
You know
But-
what? I'll give you advantage because of Marion.
I say thank you because I rolled a 5.
Bitch. This house is big.
Oh my god.
Okay, that one's a 12. 12 plus. Is it a saving throw or just a straight?
Just a check.
Okay, then that's a 13.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Effie. It takes you just about as long to find the hummingbird suite as it would have if you had Marion with you. But that's okay because you get there eventually. You get to the hummingbird suite. And you only know this, and you feel like a man in the desert after 40 days when you finally get there. But it's very beautifully, it's kind of gilted, kind of, you know how beetles are like iridescent? That's like how it's decorated, very iridescent metal, and it's got little hummingbirds, like kind of, they are not real, they're kind of enchanted to kind of flit around the door. And all of the doors in this hallway all kind of pertain to some animal as you're walking down. You have tiger, you have like woodland animals, and they all have some kind of enchanted animals kind of around the frame of the door, like kind of a tableau of the environment that they would be in. So like jungle or the woods or like some kind of tropical paradise, and you see hummingbirds kind of flitting around the doorway, and it's very beautiful magic. But you knock on the door and you hear
I want to knock on the door and be like, "Hello, my name is Marion."
what did you say?
And be like, "Hello." I just say in a really terrible accent.
Hello, it's
Marion. Hello, it's Marion. I have your room service.
He goes, hello, from the inside, and he kind of opens the door. Oh, it's you. Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's me. Come in. And just like
He opens the door and lets you in. He goes, that was absolutely insane last night.
You're kidding? You're telling me? I was like right next to him.
And you could see that he's got his hair wrapped up in a towel. He's like not fully dressed for the day. He's like, he's got the cucumbers on his eyes. He's like, that was insane last night. He goes, where did you get off to? They like separated us.
Yeah, I got dragged all the way to like I don't even know what bloody floor it was. It was like on the other side of the place. Why did you get the fancy animal room?
I asked Marion.
Didn't meet Mary until this morning.
I know Marion. She's very nice.
Of course you know.
Of course I know Marion.
Does this also mean you know Obadiah?
I don't know Obadias as much as I wish, but it's... Why? What happened with Obadias? Because he hasn't been down to breakfast yet.
And I just like make sure that there's no one in the room, and I just like... This is a secret. This you know this one.
Are you sure you should be telling me? You know how I am with secrets.
You do secrets for pay. This is one that you do not pay for. But I need your information on this. You're my best friend, Hai Sung.
I don't
Come
know if
on.
I can keep this without pay, and you owe me money.
I owe you money and I owe you a new fan. I know this. We can add it to the tab with everything going on. With the winner, with them.
Fine, I'll keep the secret if you promise to at least pay me a little bit of what you owe me later. Bye, what's up?
I'll pay you what you owe you later, and I'll get you an introduction to the Minotaur. How's that sound?
You know the Minotaur? What's his name?
Reggie.
Okay, I can work with that. What's the secret?
Obadiah is being framed. He's being framed for what happened last. He was found on the grounds
Wait,
with a
Cat Obadias. The Obadias that's a cat who works here.
cat. Okay. But yeah.
The one
thing
who
is-
has been living here since he was a kid.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Everyone says he'd been here since he was a kid. Partingtons like him and stuff.
He killed him?
I don't think he did. I think he's being framed.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
They-
He like lifts the cucumbers off his eyes and eats when he goes. This is a lot.
The Lord was poisoned. They confirmed it was poison. It was poison from the cup. But there was a wound, like a pinprick on his hand for some reason that was made at the same time. And the apparent weapon that made the pinprick was found on Obadiah, who was found wandering and apparently dazed in the gardens, like lost. Like, I understand getting lost on this estate when it's us, like, well, me. I have never been here before. But if you've been raised here since childhood, you would know this place like the back of your hand.
Well, yeah. And also,
Yeah.
he has to be called to places all over the estate. He would know it like the back of his hand just from being able to appear and disappear wherever he wants.
Exactly, but they're telling people that he was caught with the murder weapon.
Was he?
No,
He wasn't?
No, he was poisoned. The Lord was poisoned, but
But you said he had a wound?
He had a wound.
Okay. But he
But
was
the
caught
po-
with the knife that caused the wound?
Yes, he was caught with a knife that caused the wound, but the
Oh,
poison
okay.
the poison came from the cup. So
Okay.
it's such a sloppy setup. I'm offended firstly on a sloppy setup job. Like, just as my own profession, really? You're going to get them, but also I'm just as infuriated at all these
Sonari, you're
rich
starting to
people.
reach a pitch that only dogs can hear. I need you to take a breath, okay?
Oh, you bitch. Okay.
Here.
It's-
And he places one cucumber over one eye.
And
So
I'm
what are
just
you
like,
gonna do about it?
Really?
Are you wanting to just leave? We can just leave.
I can't leave yet. Not if the Winaruses are still here anyway. I'm not leaving without Lysantha. Did you see him?
I don't know where he went. I'm sorry. We could ask the staff where they got put in. You know
We'd
who
have
would
to-
know? Marion. Marion would know what suite your dad's in.
Marion would know what suite he's in. Marion is.
Marion knows everything.
I'm getting the hint about that. You
Yeah.
sure? You sure you sure she's not secretly your mother or something?
My mother? I wish Marion was my mother. She's quite cool.
Yeah.
She actually, she's been serving the Partingtons for a while, but sometimes she'll go down to the lower edge and get her party on. She likes to act like she's all old, but she's not.
I wish that she wouldn't act like that she was old when she was trying to give directions, but
She just
Okay.
likes to mess with you. She tests you to see if you're cool to be around. Hope you passed.
I think I did. I think I might have.
Okay.
I'm going to try and find. They're going to take Obadiah away for interrogation, and you know how these rich people bodyguards are.
They'll probably kill him.
Yeah, I don't trust that. So we need to find wherever the hell they're keeping him, so I can talk to him beforehand.
Right.
Did you hear Miss the lady scream last?
No, did someone scream? Effie, I can't stress this enough. This place is so big. You are on a completely different area of the house where Lady Adira screamed. He's in like a different part of the world. She's like, did someone scream last night?
And no, I just say that as like, as a, like throw it out prayer. It's like, yeah, Lady Partington apparently has sleeping issues, and she let out a huge scream, and I start telling him all about like what I witnessed. And I say after they wrote down whatever it is, I snuck in afterwards and I found it myself.
You're absolutely insane.
You know the things I have done.
It's a compliment. Go ahead. Go on.
Okay. So that's what I decide. I show her the message, and I'm like, I have no idea what this means.
She reads it. The first part. And he goes, huh. I don't know what they mean by the darkest of griefs. And the forgotten one is so vague.
There are so many forgotten ones.
That's
I
why
don't
they're
think-
forgotten.
Yeah, I don't think even Papa could tell me all about the forgotten ones. And you know what Papa's like with all his occult crap.
Mm-hmm.
But
He goes, what's the
that
second part here? And he reads it. And he starts laughing.
shut up.
My God.
Yeah, I just
You're
like
so stupid. Oh, you're stupid, and that's why I love you. And he gives you the note back. Well. So she
I probably-
knows.
I don't think it's her though.
You
Well,
don't
it
think
may
what's
be-
her.
I don't think whatever that thing was that I don't know whatever she was speaking. I don't know if that was her. She looked possessed.
Well, you know about her, right? Did I tell you about her?
What?
She's an oracle.
She's an oracle?
Yeah, she was training. She was like an apostate for Lady Laridia, the whole religion here, and she gets prophecies like all the time. And it's made her quite poorly, so she's not always able to attend like all these big like get-togethers with all the nobles because sometimes she's not feeling 100%, but when she gets a prophecy it takes a lot out of her, but it's usually almost always accurate.
Okay, this is. I thought this was just some weird ghost warning. I didn't think this was like a prophecy.
A prophecy, a prediction, a glimpse into the future, call it whatever you want, but that's what she does.
Okay. And just, like,
She's like really powerful, and it was like a huge deal when she just stopped being an apostate or like a priestess for Lady Luridia, and she just married the late Lord Partington. It was like a huge scandal. And it's partially why a lot of these really bigwig families right now, they want to do business with Lord Partington because they want to have her power on their side rather than ever going against him. Even if they don't really like him, but she's kind of a big deal.
Okay. Takes a lot. Shh. Okay. Alright, it turns out that I'm probably gonna need to tell the other ones about this.
The other
didn't
ones?
The people I got put with, like, they're investigating and they're trying to be heroes about it. And yeah, I know, I kind of want to be a hero too, but don't you judge me on this. It's not like all the other 17
Listen,
times.
Normally I don't give a shit, but this is Obadias. Like, I know that guy quite well. I don't know. He's kind of a friend of mine, I suppose, as much as you can ever be friends with the servants of another family.
Everyone keeps saying he's wonderful, but why frame him? It's like he's the most unbelievable patsy. Why would you choose him?
It could be because he's a pushover. It could be because he's a servant, and a lot of these rich families aren't going to look twice at that, or they're not going to go to the aid of someone like that very much because they don't really care.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me that.
Then why ask?
I don't know, because Papa's not here to listen.
You're
right
talking
now.
it out. I get it. So, do you
Okay.
want to be a hero, or are we gonna fuck off?
I can't leave anyway without the Minarises, so I'm sticking around until I can get my hands. Until I can talk to Lysantha. But
The way you keep talking about him keeps sounding more and more violent. But we'll find him. I promise.
I'm not going to do anything to him. I'm not trying to get.
Sure.
It's
no,
all
I get it.
complicated.
I get
Not
it. I get it. I get it. Once more.
Fine. Yes. Put on your cucumbers, and I'll come back and get you later.
I've done them. Yeah. I just have to do my little tea bags under my eyes, and then I gotta let my collagen sit, and then I will be right out.
What the fuck is a you know what? Never mind. I will meet you in the banquet hall whenever you're done. And I'm
Thank
going
you.
to I am going to find Marion and I find out where the hell Obadiah is. And if I can't find Obadiah, I'll find where Lysanther is, and then we can. How's that?
I have faith in you. And he lies back on the bed like this.
You're lucky. And yes, I will get you that I'll introduce you to the Minotaur as well if you hurry up within the next hour.
I have faith in you.
And I turn and leave. Can I say fucking high sung?
Cool. 1 second. Gaius and Madeline. You guys are gonna head out to talk to the doctor, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Madeline, as you leave the banquet hall, someone grabs your arm and yanks you into a side hall. Do you resist it, or?
So they just grab me by the arm. They don't like.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not like hurtful or anything, but they just yank you into a side hall. And as you look, you see that it is Marina.
Okay. I allow it to happen if it's Marina.
You can see that she's been crying, but she's stone-faced right now. She goes, "Listen, I know that I have no reason to ask you to do anything for me, but I need you to please find out what's going on here. I would, but my mother is insisting I do all this side stuff for my father and prepare all this stuff, but I know that it is not Obadias. Please, I need you to please do anything."
And
I know we
Maddie
don't know
like
each other.
gently puts like her hands on like her upper arms, like shoulders. I will do whatever I can
Because
to help you, because it's not right. There's something going on here. I don't believe it. It doesn't add up.
I know. I keep trying to tell my brother, and he's in shock or something, or he just is focusing on. I don't know, but it's just, Obadias is like our family. I can't just let him go like that. He's like a brother to me.
I personally, I don't know him, but you said this is not like him at all, right?
No. I know we don't know each other very well, but I would be eternally grateful if you and your friends could look into this for me, please.
We're gonna find out the truth.
Okay. And she like goes to give you a hug, but she's kind of like second guesses it and then just gives you like an awkward pat on the arm and says, "Thank you. I'm sorry." And then she kind of turns and runs down one of the many billion hallways in this house.
Yeah. Maddie just takes like a deep breath and then exits and tries to find Gaius.
And Gaius is probably standing like 5 feet away.
Okay. She doesn't think that he did it either.
Ooh.
I forgot her name again. I forgot.
Marina doesn't think that
Marina.
Obadias did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Marina doesn't think that Obadias did it either.
So
but
that's who pulled you in. I thought it was, a lover or some sort looking for, anything.
she's just immediately regretting to go with Gaius.
No, my apologies. I thought, pretty lady like you would most definitely be spoken for.
So where are they keeping the doctor?
I don't have the damnedest idea. We could probably find somebody along the way.
We can ask Marion. She probably knows.
Probably.
And so,
Did I hear my name? Oh, hi.
Who do you think taught Obadias the teleport
Right.
stuff?
right?
All of the kitchen staff can apparate.
Was there something you're wanting, dearie?
Yes, Marion. Corey, you are. Okay, never mind.
Now I am.
Yes, Miss Marion. I was wondering if you knew where the doctor is.
I do, but I don't think she's supposed to be disturbed right now.
It's important.
Well, isn't it always for you sorts? Fine. She's on. So you're gonna take these stairs all the way up to the 3rd floor. You're gonna take an immediate lift, and then you're gonna be into the art gallery, and you're gonna take a right out of the art gallery after the 4th painting of a man who looks like he's constipated. After you go past the man who thinks like he's constipated, then you're gonna take a lift, a right, and then you're gonna come into this big sunny foyer. You're gonna continue through the foyer out the southeastern exit. It's sort of like a giant compass, and once you're through there, you're gonna be arriving into the art suites, and they're all suites that are based after famous artists, and you're going to be the 5th door on your lift.
5th door on the left, art gallery. I'm gonna have to roll for this.
Okay,
I know.
Yep.
I feel like she immediately starts to like try to write it down too.
What do we need to roll to
Just roll an intelligence check.
But it's the Marion saving throw. Do I actually remember?
save versus grandma directions?
I hope that's helpful.
14.
16.
14
Gaius
is
is fine, and Maddie, you kind of are like, but you get there. You get there
like,
a lot faster than Effie did.
as Gaius nods and thanks her, he takes Maddie by the hand and begins leading her away.
Okay.
as she's getting led away, she's like, I don't fully trust, because like I don't think that she fully trusts Gaius. Just in general, I don't think that she thinks that he's behind it or anything super nefarious, but I think she's just like, why am I going away with him now? She's like, and there we go.
What would
Okay.
my mother think? Mama.
I told you to find somebody and you bring this home.
She's like, listen, I love you. You are my pride and joy. You are the apple of my eye. You are the reason the sun rises in the morning. But this guy, this guy.
No, mother, it's not what it looks like.
Him.
And the Gaius is like, it's exactly what it looks like.
Guys just shoot finger guns.
Yo, mamacita, I see where my girl gets her looks from. Let's go.
And
Okay.
as soon as they get far enough away, he lets go of Maddie's hand. He goes, okay, got the gist of it where you need to go, so it's gonna be a bit of a
This
walk.
is very Harry Met Sally, where they're like, I'm not into you like that, but then they are.
I just like the idea, just like, so, are you single? It's like, yes. I was, oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Like, you strictly go after people who are already taken.
Sure.
Only, it's only, well, like, there's nothing better than the adrenaline rush of rushing out, like, hiding out of the room when the angry husband comes home.
Yeah.
Get that yellow belly son of a bitch.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Ninja walk.
And as they're walking, guys looks over at her. He's like, "This your first party?"
No, I've been to parties before, and she's just still like taking in the estate and just about
My apologies. You look a little not out of place, uncomfortable.
You know how to talk.
I finished one of your books last night.
Oh, I didn't know they had my books here.
Yes, there is a library that Marina showed me.
I hope it's actually the literary books that I wrote.
I just finished the pirate one.
Oh, Cannonball's Run.
Yes, Cannonball's Run. I heard that your reputation
Oh
is...
no! Which reputation?
And she just blushes. I didn't get that reputation from that book, so I assume that you've either written something entirely different.
Oh.
Or...
If you're implying about the more sexual novels, yes, I have written a couple of them.
I don't think that they had any of them in the library, but
most
I preferred Cannonball's Run, I suppose.
Most respectable individuals are not going to have those sort of books on public display. You'll usually find those in bedside dressers and whatnot.
And the floorboards.
Okay.
But they do tend, to pay the bills. Though I've only written 4 of them.
Which one was your first?
Of the smut novels?
Of just books.
Oh, well, no, actually, one of the first books was a smut novel because my teachers at the Bardic College said that, well, sex does sell. So you read Cannonball's Run, so if you're looking for a steamy pirate adventure, I suggest The Captain's Captive.
She makes a mental note of it, but she doesn't let it show. Of that, she's just like, I prefer the other some of your other works, I suppose. Cannonball's Run was... I like adventure.
Well, I definitely have many adventure books. So, I must ask because it's only polite, but which family do you hail from?
Fitzgerald. You've probably heard of our tea business, and we also import mint leaves.
The Rivals. Yes, I've heard your family name in passing whenever I visit home.
I'm not really with the business, but I do enjoy it.
I'm definitely not in the business. I am as far separated from my family as possible at all times.
What family would that be?
The Tybalts. Shipping.
My father has mentioned you.
Import,
Your
export.
family.
If it floats in water, our name is probably on it.
A rubber duck.
So, not necessarily not necessarily rivals, but more business partners, I suppose.
You would have to talk to my father or brother about that one. I don't really pay attention to the family business.
I'm frankly surprised that my father hasn't tried to talk your ear off last night about it. Back when the party was still a party.
heads of household tend to not want to speak to me. I have a reputation in some circles.
It's funny, my mother never mentioned you.
I probably don't know your mother.
My mother knows everyone. But I don't suppose that if your reputation is as... If she's trying so hard to find the right words, she wants the reputation is so poor, as you suppose. As been told, I suppose that my mother would not be happy that we are conversing. She'd prefer I stay with the high society.
And just seeing how nervous that she is, Gaius, being Gaius, is going to like look over to her with just like that Cheshire grin. He's like, well, if you ever want to disappoint your mother further, just let me know.
Like blushing again.
And I would say on
Sorry.
that note, you guys arrive at the door for the doctor.
Oh, look, the door.
And Gaius is just gonna like rap a little like a little tune on the door as he's knocking.
You hear like a yes, please come in. And as you push open the door, you see Amelie Gustford. She doesn't look so good. You can tell she's been up all night. They kind of put together like a makeshift sort of like desk for her. It's got like, you know, various medical supplies, various books here. There's like a little decanter, kind of like one of those bowls that you use for grinding stuff, etc. And her hair is a mess. She looks very dark bags under her eyes. She looks up and she kind of goes like, oh, Miss Fitzgerald, Lord Tybalt, I apologize for the state that I'm in. I've just been up all night. How are you, Gaius?
Doc, you've patched me up enough times. You don't need to call me Lord.
I know, you have a guest with you, and she kind of waves at you, Madeline. She goes, it's nice to see you again, miss. I hope you're faring better than I am.
I suppose I got a couple hours of sleep last night, but...
That's a fair number more than I did. And she kind of turns and she goes, I suppose, knowing you guys, you're here to kind of, as they say, stick your nose in other people's business. Is that right?
You know me all too well.
Yeah. I wouldn't call you my friend if it were any other way. She goes, well, what would you like to know? There's only so much I can tell you,
Of course.
But I will tell you, this is a very strange case. I haven't ever seen anything like this before. And you can tell that... Actually, Gaius, will you do an insight check for me?
Sure.
With advantage, because you know Homily quite well.
Ooh. With advantage, insights, that will be a 21.
Lovely. You can see that underneath the fatigue and the stress, you can see a little bit of fear in her eyes. And she goes, I assume the constable told you that this is Nightwing, a kind of poison that's not even of Sargenty. It's from outside our city's borders, but I mean, this stuff is no joke. The only reason I know of it is because of my studies. They had us study all kinds of poisons, and this just happened to be a very rare one, but they said, like, what are the odds that we're ever going to encounter this? Well, here I am. certificate.
Yeah, and they're saying that Obadias was the one that did it. That doesn't make any sense to a good portion of our group, and it seems to a couple of the family members as well.
Obadias, he's a good lad. Never had an issue with him. Don't know him very well, but I do know that. I mean, Lord Partington can't go 10 feet without Obadias being there, like a little shadow. So I'm sure he's distraught about this, but I'm not an investigative anything. I'm just a doctor, and all I deal with is what's in front of me. And the fact of the matter is that Nightwing, there's no cure. It's fast acting, and it is extremely deadly. So that's just so sad. It's just incredibly sad.
They gave the sorry, go ahead.
Do you believe that the knife could have caused that wound on his hand?
Yes. The constable had me investigate the blood that was on it, and it was Lord Partington's blood. And based on the time of the wound and when he was poisoned, it lines up, and the age of the blood on the knife as well. It's odd, though. If you're poisoning someone, why do you need to stab them? Or not stab them, but prick them. I've just never seen anything like that.
Especially since the poison was in the cup.
I was going to ask if there was poison on the knife.
No, but it was from the cup. Knife is clean except for that blood. It's very odd.
It just seems too easy to blame Obadias.
He did serve Lord Partington that night, but he also served a bunch of other people as well.
It's odd that they're calling the knife the murder weapon. Especially since you're saying that the knife wouldn't have been the thing that delivered the poison. We found poison in his glass.
I know that they are tying the pinprick along with the murder as well. So I guess it might have just been a slip of the tongue, just when you can't really call a cup a murder weapon. But I mean, holding a knife that was used at the time of someone's death is enough to raise suspicion. But what can you really call that? That's a hell of a title.
True.
I will say that the general is looking very thoroughly into this. I know you have a tendency to be suspicious, Gaius, but the general's doing his best, I promise.
I gave him a napkin with the poison that was on it.
I'm sorry, how did you get that?
As you say, I can't keep my nose out of other people's business. I went on a little walk last night and found my way into the dining hall.
You just happened to find your way into the dining hall.
Just innocent walk. I just happened to find my way into the dining hall. And when did you know it? Poured the, did a little exchange of liquids between the glasses and found what I assumed to be poison on the bottom of the cup, not completely dissolved, a little chunky. So I
guess you would have expertise with exchange of liquids, but you know what?
You're not wrong.
I already investigated the cup, actually, and it is the same poison that was found in Lord Partington, so you're correct. That doesn't mean it was right to go there, but you're correct.
After I saw the pinprick on his finger, I couldn't let it go. Something was just not sitting right with me.
You're right. Well, I mean, I don't know what else. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you examined the body since?
Since I did an autopsy on him.
That's what that's what I was asking, if you had already done the autopsy.
Aye.
Then it's just poison.
Aye. That's a really terrible poison. It essentially turns your insides to liquid. your guts, your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, even some of your bones start to liquefy. So
where is its residence at? Where do you normally find the plant or anything of that matter to make this poison? Overseas?
Oh, no, not overseas. Usually in forest lands, very dark forests. I know that it's usually found in distant lands, but I've heard rumors that, you know, they're going deeper and deeper into, you know, our main forest on the outskirts of the town for logging business and whatnot.
Logging.
I don't want to get political about it, but, you know, that is what they're doing. And I have to imagine that they are coming across maybe new vegetation out there. It makes sense.
Does Nightlock have any magical properties?
Does
Nightwing.
Nightwing. Did I say
Yeah.
Nighthawk?
You said
said
Nightlog.
Yeah.
Nightlog.
Nightwing, it's quite a
Different to the bird.
curious. Yeah, it's quite a curious plant. It can only grow in forests of extremely strong magic, which, again, I don't want to get political, but with the deforestation of the Vivray forest down on the outskirts of town, I wouldn't be surprised if, because, you know, they've never gone that deep before into the forest. I would never ever be surprised to see that they're finding new sorts of vegetation, animals, anything in there. So I would bet good money that they would probably uncover something of that ilk. It's perfect growing grounds for something like Nightwing.
Who has claim to those logging rights? Do you happen to know?
I mean, Maddie, this is Maul talking. Isn't your family kind of...
My family is in the tea business.
But they've also, you get the tea, the plants for that tea from the Vivray forest.
Oh, that's true.
She kind of looks awkwardly at Madeline. I mean, far be it from me to name names, but
My family uses the Vivray forest to grow some plants for some of our teas.
And how does the head of your household feel, or how did they feel about the recently deceased lord? His policies and his beliefs. I know he wasn't really the most liked, seeing as how he tended to promote the better treatment of the quote-unquote lower born.
Oh, I was about to say, everybody likes Lord Partington except the other asshole lords. I'm sorry, Miss Fitzgerald. I don't know your father, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Can I roll to do like a history check or something of like things that have been overheard at dinner, if my father ever had like an unkind word to say?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, that's a 4. I was not paying attention during dinner.
Yeah, you were very not paying attention at all. Sorry, you don't know.
Yep. Sorry. It's fine.
As you see like the cogwheels turning in Gaius's head.
My mother was very adamant of not speaking of business at the table. So I suppose I was...
Well, listen, if I can add my 2 cents as a doctor, as they've been going deeper and deeper into the forest, they've encountered more and more injuries from the workers there. It's usually me patching them up, and I mean, it's a dangerous forest. It's inherently magical. It's especially ancient. Um, I imagine your family benefits very well from the logging and the collection of mint leaves from there, but, you know, a lot of the workers, I'm sorry, they're not treated very well. They're essentially disposable. And it's more than just machine accidents that happen out there. I mean, there's serious dangers in that woods. So I wouldn't be surprised if your father is not exactly Lord Partington's biggest fan. He was very adamantly against deforestation.
Well then.
Sorry. But you know, just because your father doesn't like that stuff, I mean...
I thank you for speaking freely with me.
Don't tell
No
your
matter
father on me.
I have a theory.
There's quite a lot that my father does not know.
Try gives you a wink.
Not saying it was your father. Maybe somebody associated with the family with the imports. Again, just a going theory because I don't know where they would get the leaves for the tea that they're serving here.
Probably from the forest.
But how easy would it be to maybe smuggle some of this Nightwing in with a batch of tea leaves?
I mean, probably very easy.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people have the same education around something like Nightwing as I do, so they probably just think it might just be another plant. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they're actually out there looking for something like that, and they're very pleased to have found it. Anyway, I do apologize, you two, but I have a lot of work to do here still, if you don't mind.
Gaius nods. He's like, of course. Thank you for your time. You've given us most definitely plenty to think about.
Don't get getting into too much trouble, because I've only got so many hands here.
I am not planning to be on the receiving end of any blades or bolts tonight, but I am in dangerous company at the moment.
Correct. All right, and we are gonna quickly hop over to our burial. And you said you wanted to go talk to Lord Avros.
Yep.
Okay.
Wherever he may be.
You know who you can ask.
Spry young chicken named Marianne.
I have an idea of who I
The
can
thing
ask.
is, I'm just joking. As you walk out, you can see that Lord Avros is kind of standing in the foyer, looking very exhausted, probably after talking with Marina. Looks at me, goes, "Oh, hello, Lord Arberiel. I apologize for my sister's outburst earlier. It is hard on me and my family right now."
No apology necessary, Lord Avros. I wanted to come pay you a visit before taking my leave, just to make sure you're doing all right.
That's very kind of you. And he kind of gestures, he goes, "I have my own office if you want to go in there." And it's like a side office, but once you go in, it's ostentatiously huge. Very tall bookshelves from all the way up. But on display, he has this really magnificent display of like various knives and swords and whatnot, kind of like a whole wall dedicated to it. And he sits down at a chair in front of a fire. He goes, "Can I get you a drink or anything at all?"
A glass of wine would be lovely.
At 10 in the morning? Okay, whatever
It's
you
been
say.
a very long couple of days.
Has it really?
I don't need to tell you that.
Mm-hmm. He pours you a glass of wine, passes it to you. He doesn't drink. He sits down in the armchair next to the fire and looks very tired.
Don't stretch yourself too thin, Lord Avros. You unfortunately have a very heavy weight on your shoulders now. I know somewhat of what you're going through, being thrust into the lordship of a very prominent house. It's a lot to handle.
Is it selfish to say that I thought that I would at least have a couple more years before this became my everyday?
I don't think that's selfish at all. I think you certainly deserved more years than what you got.
Mm.
If there's anything that you ever need help with in your new position, I'm not a wealth of knowledge, obviously. I haven't been doing it too long myself, but I am more than happy to share it with you anything that I can.
I beg your pardon here, and please tell me if I'm overstepping, but why are you being so generous?
After seeing everything that you've gone through, I can't help but feel for you. And I know our families have... Well, they've not been on bad terms, but they've certainly not been on good terms.
I don't know. My grandfather is not a big fan of your father. Or you.
Well, that's fair.
Or your mother. Or your brother. Or your brother. Or your sister.
Also fair. And I will probably do nothing to change that opinion either. However, your grandfather is not the head of your house. You are. And
Oh,
my
so
father
you
is not the head
are...
of my house. I am.
Okay. So we are simultaneously sucking up to each other. I see what you're doing.
We are making bonds where there wasn't any before.
I guess my father got his wish after all. That's good, at least. He
Well,
goes,
I think all that depends on you, really.
and you. Goes, listen. I don't have a lot of people to trust right now. Except those closest to me. So forgive me if I am not falling into your arms with abandon, but as the constable said, you seem to have a lot of connections. I don't have the means right now to go about investigating my father's death. I have to take care of my mother. I have to take care of my sister. I have to take care of my household. But you have a lot of connections. If you, at any point, find anything at all, I would really appreciate it. And forgive me for being so frank, Arbariel, if we're dropping all formality. Whoever did this might have a grudge against families like ours. So it might be in your best interest to keep an eye out.
Yes, the general said as much as well.
He's a sharp man.
Indeed he is.
I saw that you got put together with Gaius Tybalt. How did you find him?
I am exhausted by that man.
So you need this wine, is what you're saying. You need this wine more than I do.
I wouldn't have asked for it if I did not need it.
What a terrible night you've had.
Terrible night.
Well, I appreciate you trying to take my mind off of stuff, and I appreciate your extended hand. I suppose what I am saying is that if you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. I
Then
have to be thinking
consider...
like the head of the house right now.
Indeed. And if that is the case, then consider the resources of the Sarveris household at your disposal.
Thank you. And he kind of stands up and he goes, I enjoy talking to you. I hope you know. I know we don't know each other very well, but I feel like I can be frank with you.
Well, perhaps when this mess is cleared up and you're in a more comfortable position, we can get to know each other a bit better.
It's a date. And he goes, however, I do have to go check on my mother. She is not feeling very well at all. If you don't mind, I must excuse myself. But please take leave of my office and enjoy your wine. And he
Of
gives you a little
course.
bow.
And send your mother my regards.
I will, of course. She has always enjoyed talking to you. And
She's
he
a
kind
lovely woman.
of gives you a wave and he kind of walks out.
I'm going to sit there for a minute and just enjoy my wine. But eventually I'd like to get up and kind of mosey on over to that knife collection of his.
Mm-hmm.
Take a good long look at that. I assume they're like either in a display case or mounted on the wall or something.
Kind of a little of both. Can you do an investigation check for me, please?
I sure can.
I guess not investigation, more like perception.
That's even better. That's going to be a dirty 20.
You can see like knives and swords of all different kind of designs, all different like ages, some very old, some quite new and modern, different gilded, some jeweled, some not, some more for decoration, some that are very like intimidating weapons. He's got a thing for collecting knives and swords. As you peek a little closer, you can see that the ones that aren't in display cases actually have like, it almost looks like a shimmering force field. And you know, as someone who has a lot of very invaluable goods around your house, that this is a protective shield to make sure they don't get stolen.
Wonder if any of them are missing.
That's where I was going with this. Looking at this collection, is there any obvious gaps in the display where maybe there should have been a dagger or a short sword or something on display, but has since been removed?
Good question. No, there's not.
Okay. And while I'm here, since I saw that kind of barrier over them, I would like to detect magic
Sure.
and see if there's any that don't have barriers over them.
You see, it's an enormous barrier over all of them. This is clearly his pride and joy. And if he loses a knife, someone tried really hard to get it.
Okay.
It's a bit of that barrier magic. I would say that it's a type of barrier magic that even you don't have in your own home, whereas if you went to touch it, your hand would just meet resistance. But you can tell there's something like almost sinister sizzling around it, as if it's a little more intensive than just a wall.
Okay. As much as I, the player, want to start touching things, I feel like that maybe that's a bad idea right now. So instead,
Okay.
touching barriers.
Mm-mm.
I've seen what happens when people touch barriers.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I only know what Rojan's like as a DM, but you don't know what I'm like as a DM. So if you want to touch it,
True. I want to touch it.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
that sounds like the DM egging you on.
I'm gonna slowly
Touch it, you
reach
coward.
my hand out to press it against this barrier.
as your fingers go towards the barrier, they aren't met with resistance like a stop. They go through, but as they do, you feel like your fingers are being coated in a type of acid, and you can already see it starting to eat away at your fingertips, and you're losing your fingers.
Okay. Well, as soon as it starts to burn, I'm pulling my hand back.
Your usually beautiful, soft, never seen work hands are now mottled and angry and gross.
How
Ouch.
dare you?
How dare you?
Uh-oh.
How dare you punish me for touching this man's prized possessions?
A man who
Maybe?
lost his father less than 24 hours ago, and you want to steal his knives?
I just wanted to look at them physically.
Don't you have a cane?
I do have a cane. However,
I can see what's worth more.
Instead of, wow, this cane is a very nice cane, gilded and bejeweled, and a little,
And your hand's not, so I understand.
little latch inside of it for something hidden. But instead
Judge.
of poking things with this cane, I'm actually going to go over to the chair that he was sitting in briefly.
And smell the seat, you sicko.
And not where I was going with that, but all right. I'm gonna lean the cane up against that chair. That cane was actually my chosen weapon for the class. It's a sword cane. I'm gonna lead the cane up against the chair as a gift for him, and then I'm going to leave the office.
Okay, you leave the office. And really quick, Effie, do you need to head out?
I got 8 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good. We're going to go to Reggie, who is going to the gardens real quick before we end tonight.
And he makes his way outside. If he can't go through the kitchen staff area in order to go the same route that Obadias went, he'll try and get close enough to it to where you can start looking for any evidence of a struggle or...
So you're
anything
going through
that-
the servants' quarters where Marion is?
Yes.
Okay. She goes, "Oh, hi, dearie. What are you doing back here?"
Well, I know this might sound bad for me. I feel like
You
I'm
look like you're a
partial-
bit bad, but that's okay. I've got a weakness for bad men.
I feel responsible for sending Obadiah last night.
Listen, Obadias, he wanted to help. It's okay. You don't have to feel guilty.
Yes, but I must insist. Is there a way out of here that goes to the gardens through these quarters?
Absolutely. The servants' quarters, they have hallways that go across the entire house, every room. But yeah, if you want, I can show you how to get to the gardens.
Sure. And she will be affronted by basically.
She lets out a little.
Would you like another lift?
Oh, from you? Absolutely. Okay.
And she gets the lift, and I'm going to have her guide me through as I hold her.
You know, it's been a long time since I've let a man throw me around like this.
I'm not throwing you. I'm merely.
Oh, if you
helping
wanted to,
along.
I wouldn't be opposed, but that's all right.
Madam, please. I'm trying to help Obadias here.
Oh, she's me.
Oh, she's. Okay.
She's like,
I
she
love
puts her
her.
hand on your chest. She's like, "You're right. We must stay focused." And she looks. And she goes, "Right. Well, it's actually quite simple to get to the gardens. Take a lift through these doors
Goes through.
and
It's
go
like-
down
and
these
just like-
stairs."
Go down the stairs.
And here we are.
All right. Now that I've walked it, where would you like me to drop you off?
I mean, you can drop me off wherever you want. I've just got to go back up the stairs, and that might take me a while.
Going up the stairs, putting her back, and remembering the path there, making it much quicker.
Mm-hmm. She's like, "Goodbye, handsome. I'll see you again soon."
More mozzarella on toast.
Oh, Lord Christ on that cross, Blinkenick. I hate that. Okay, as you go out the doors, it's onto this very beautiful veranda. Marble stone with kind of like a barrier, and then there are stairs on either side of this kind of veranda that lead down into this enormous garden maze. And within the garden maze, from like this elevated position that you're at, you can see like there's a fountain in there's like a statue garden, There's this shit's got everything.
All right.
In fact, I can take you guys there. Yay.
Yay.
So, here's my thoughts.
Tell me.
Coming right out of what direction here? From the south side?
Yes. You're
All
here.
All right. From the archway, he is actually going to climb up on that archway, kind of getting a higher view of the area directly around him. And
Sure.
he's just going to very quickly scan for recent disturbances.
Sure. Can I get an investigation check? However, is there like a certain area you're looking at, or because this is a huge ass garden? If you're wanting to look at everything, it's probably gonna have to be at disadvantage.
He will go through the first 30 feet out of the building area. So
Okay.
from here to here, he's doing it in sections.
Okay.
If he has
sure.
to do it in quarters, he'll do the right side first and then the left.
Okay.
So
So then
disadvantage?
roll normally. Then I won't do it at disadvantage. I am a
Alright,
merciful DM.
Yes, indeed. Investigation. Looking at a 19.
That's quite good. You see that there was not a lot of people out in the garden during the party last night. It was very much kept inside. With that being said, there's very clearly, because the ground is not stone. It's like those made up of little pebbles,
Right.
Myself personally, I hate that as a gardening choice. I think it doesn't lead to any surefire steps, but that's what they've decided to do here, so I'll just let them do that. Footsteps traveling from where you are up to here. 19's pretty good.
He will hop down, kind of make his way over to here, kind of look at this little palisade of water, kind of guide himself to the front of it, and kind of, since the direction is going more this
I will
way.
say the footsteps are actually headed around to this edge. And you can see that around these bushes here, someone slipped through them.
He will... How tall is this particular shrubbery right here?
Taller than you.
Climbable?
Oh. It's like a bush. That's why someone went through it.
Turn head, go through.
And you've ruined their hedges, but you're through. Here. Now, as you're standing here, you can see, and you can remember from your vantage point up on the veranda, you're in kind of the garden area, but over in this area is where the garden maze was, where Obadias was found.
So footsteps were found here. And over there is where where he was found, right?
Correct.
Okay. Are there any more tracks?
Yes. Can I get another investigation roll?
All right. Try this one. Total of an 18 this time.
Okay. You see that the tracks continue to this area, and you can see that the hedges have also been disturbed there. And they go through here. Can I get one more investigation check?
Of course. That is a natural 20 for 21.
Nice. You see that here, you didn't notice before, but it's two different sets of tracks that took this path, sort of almost the same. Someone might have cut across to meet here, but there was a scuffle here. And you can see that the footsteps then because out through this way is an exit. Just assume that there's an exit around this way.
Just follow those red line things.
Yep.
Oh, those are tables out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out past the tables, there's going to be an exit north of the gardens to kind of like a back exit. like a little garden gate that can lead sort of like towards the forest, but also has a back road that will lead into the city at some point. But the footsteps have, like the two pairs of footsteps here have had a bit of a scuffle. And then you see footsteps going this way, and then there's like two lines dragged behind it, kind of like alongside it as well. Same direction they're going.
Do I think that maybe Obadias' body size drag, and it's being led over to hereish?
Yep.
All right. That makes sense why. I really shouldn't have sent him out there. Okay. He's gonna take out a small book and start writing what he's found so far. And with preliminary checks of his own, we'll submit those to the proper investigators later. But then he is also going to double check just where exactly at that back gate it comes out at into the forest, and just kind of survey the area. Kind of looks over it. He kind of pulls out his pipe. Where is that tricky son of a bitch?
Can I get one more investigation check? I don't mean to interrupt your pipe.
Oh, don't worry. Not many do. Alright, that is going to be a 17.
Okay. As you get to the gate, you notice it's slightly ajar. So someone went through there, or at least opened the gate. And as you're standing there smoking your pipe, you can see that footsteps head out onto the road that runs behind the house and go down behind, kind of like there. It's just a road that goes behind the whole estate, but eventually meets up into the main roads that go into the city. So there was someone who left, but their footsteps are probably gone in like the bustle of the city.
Is there a good enough size or depth of a footprint that I can imprint onto a piece of paper? Like, just to get the shape of it. Is it wet enough?
No, it's all dry, like stone.
So it's a dry stone, but then goes into the dirt of the forest?
No, it doesn't go towards the forest. It stays on the road, and it goes into the cobbled city streets.
Damn. All right. He's at least going to take the length of it down. That way we can get a good foot size.
I'd say a men's size 10.
Men's size 10. All right.
If you gotta go, you can go.
Yeah, I probably should go on.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
All good, no problem. I'll watch the rest. Thank you. Bye. Sorry.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
I think the last thing he'll do is he will try and catch one of the other military members that's escorting Obadias. If he can get to the general, he'll look for his vanguard and pass off a note to them with his findings.
Sure. Kieran is probably still in the thing. I think our cameras might be messed up. I'm sorry, guys, but I had to go.
Cameras are messed up.
Sorry, but
if I can find Kieran, even better.
Yeah, Kieran's still there, and he goes like, "Wow, you look sweaty. What were you doing?"
Work, and he'll just kind of tear out the paper. Commit that to the findings.
All right. And he goes, so there were two sets of footprints.
One led to where you found Obadias. The other led out the back gate after some drag marks.
Right. Okay. He goes, well,
there was indeed a scuffle.
That's not good. He goes, all right, I can definitely bring this to the general. Did you happen to get like the footprint or anything? Like, oh no, because I've been out there before. It's all
cobblestone. 10 inches. That's the best I can do.
You know, we might have to get some magic involved in this. They might be able to get something from that, but I'm not sure.
There were 2 instances of going through the brush. if there's any proof of their being there, it'll be along the right side of the gardens as you're going out the quarters.
He goes, actually, I know someone who might actually be good at this. And he goes, Marina, she's a sorcerer. She might be able to take a look at this, but I really don't want to bother her. I know her family.
I would love to have a chat with Miss Marina, actually.
Sounds good. If you want, I know that we're kind of running over time a bit, because we can definitely go talk to her. But that might have to be a you thing, because the general's just called that we are doing the investigations on Obadias. They're taking him out soon.
All right, just make sure you have that with them and
Okay.
pass it along.
Alrighty.
I'll find to Miss Marina and hope we can get to the bottom of all this.
All right. He takes that and he leaves. And I think at that point, after very good investigation by Reggie and everybody else, we are going to have to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Not as climactic an ending as the last week, but
we are getting there.
I hope you guys had fun.
I did.
Just as I was able to get all of the cameras situated again.
Sorry,
Perfect.
Rogen.
No, that's
Perfect
fine.
outro.
That way, if anybody has to dip or if we are missing people, I now have a setup for when we're missing a person.
Okay. Well, we're ending it there. We're here every other Saturday for the downfall of propriety. Rogen, take it away.
Allow me to pause this music. So, yeah, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, this is not the only show that we do. Coming up on Monday, we are going to have another episode of Destiny Forge Campaign 4, which is our longest running show here on the channel. Coming up on Tuesday will be another episode of Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game run by Tiltbot. Thursday is going to be another episode of Mass Effect Horizons, which is a Mass Effect D&D mod that is run by Zorro. On the alternating Thursday, it is Tricorn Isles, which is another D&D game that I run. Coming up next Saturday is going to be another episode of Withered Wastes, which is a 5th edition game that everyone currently on screen is in, including, and then along with Gillitam and Zorro. And then, as Maul said, on the alternating Saturday is us here on the Downfall of Propriety. But that is going to do it for us for now, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on Monday.
Goodbye.
Adios.